It's Monday night. You know what that? No, wait a minute. This is the wrong show, isn't it? We're not. This is normally chain wrestling. We're kind of nicking their spot tonight. They're here tomorrow. This is the Volley live.
The following is a Matt Attack production for SJP World Media.
Sorry, baby. Yes, we are live here on SJP World Media. Happy New Year, everybody! I'm magnificent Matt Lewis, Chef Lewis, if you like, and I am being joined, of course, by my brother from another mother, Dan Griffin. How are you, sir?
I am the most hungover person in existence, to be quite honest. Went a little bit too far with the New Year celebrations last night, but I'm alive, and ready to watch Liverpool hopefully win.
Well, Liverpool Newcastle is always an exciting game, usually one way or another. So, what better way than to have no bias at all and invite another Liverpool fan to join us? From the Good Cop Bad Cop Wrestling podcast, the JDB Sports Show, and many other defunct shows, but not Good Bad Baseball and Good Card Bad Card, which we'll be telling soon. MTV Graham, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm glad to hear that you're still chefing, because from a post on Facebook yesterday, I thought you were a full-time wrestling commentator now. I was a little worried that you'd decide. I thought you made a big life step for 2024.
I do fair, Graham. I might wear the jacket a bit more often, if you know what I mean, at some point. Anyway, wonderful to have you. Gentlemen, we should talk about the freshly opened transfer window and what needs to happen for various teams as we go through the day. We'll also want to hear how people's Christmases went, so feel free to let us know in the chat how they all went. I will, of course, gentlemen, get to how your Christmases and New Year's went momentarily, but given we are talking about a football match today, I think maybe we should start with the home team. The Liverpool team cheaters in. Dan, any surprises for you there?
Not really. I think the only thing approaching a surprise is Curtis Jones starting. It's good to see. Like Jones, hard worker, good player. I'm still not convinced by Gomez at left back, but we haven't really got a lot of other options. So I think this is just about as strong as we could be.
Yeah, indeed. Owen Beck was recalled from Dundee, United, I believe it was, just this past afternoon. So he's not eligible for today, of course, but he's a great young talent and look forward to seeing what else he can do for sure. Graham, you've been waxing lyrical about Dominic Szoboszlai since he came in, although you can't say his name very well. It takes us a lot of practice on this show to get it as well. Might be happy to see him still starting.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking down that list, and my only disappointment is I was hoping Jota was going to be back. I know he played a few minutes the other day, but I still prefer pissed off Nunes on the bench. I think he's much better when he comes off the bench. I've not really seen it when he's started, but you just don't know with him, though. You just don't know. That's the element that he adds into that team. Is he going to be brilliant? Is he going to be nothing? You just don't know. I think I would rather have something a little more consistent, though. And I think hopefully Jota will be coming back soon. I think he said McAllister's on the bench. That writing's a little small for someone as old as me. But if that's true, that's good to see him back as well.
McAllister and Jota both on the bench, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I figured Jota was,
yeah.
but I don't think McAllister was in the previous game.
Yeah, Liverpool's bench is loaded. McAllister, Gakpo, Elliott, Jota, Gravenberch. It's pretty loaded. Also, we have before we get on to the Newcastle side of things, we have the chat. Connor, he's a hello gentleman. He hopes to be along later on. He's saying happy college football playoff semi-final day. Go Alabama and Washington. You're from Ohio,
nothing
kid.
about that.
I didn't think Alabama were actually in the playoffs. I thought that was one of the contentious talks. I thought FSU made it ahead of Alabama. And then they got totally blown out last night.
I'm not sure about that side of things. Connor, come back to us. You are American correspondent after all. We have got... I keep tapping about it. I'm so sorry, Dan. You give it that.
All right.
Okay. The KPB in the chat saying oi oi oi. Yep. And as always, he's taking care of our background for us. Trent playing midfield. He'll wander in. Is what he does now.
He's starting at right back.
He'll start there, but he'll end at left wing, probably knowing Trent Alexander-Arnold recently. On the other side of things, Newcastle. Obviously, Nick Pope's injured, of course, so Dubravka's in. And I do believe Karras does make the bench again. Yes, bizarrely. Again, strongest side Newcastle could have. But at the same time, they are, as Graham was saying, they are really in a downward spiral at the moment, Newcastle.
Yeah, it's the injuries that have been killing them. You know, I think that at one point had 12 or 13 for first team squad players out. The only thing that could maybe be improved with that side would be to drop Joe Linton into the midfield and bring in Almer on, rather than playing Joe Linton on the left up top. But otherwise, you know, they're still a dangerous team. But you know, Lewis Miley's come in, proven himself to be very effective. Longstaff, I think, is an underrated player in many areas. I've just noticed the captain as well, Dan Byrne, Newcastle lad captain in his hometown team. That's nice to see. But I'm hoping that Salah gives him the absolute runaround at left back.
Yes, with Trippier out injured, nothing better than our hometown lad doing it, of course. Bench is looking nowhere near as strong as it could be. And apparently he's been giving no money to strengthen in January. More on that later. So yeah, I shall bring us back to big screen. There we go.
Connor there saying Trent plays right back and holding the mid for England and Liverpool, so I have freedom to attack him. But yeah, it does. I'm just all I was saying is that his starting position is right back, but it's that sort of revolutionary free role that started with Trent, and then you know Pep took at Man City when the likes of John Stones were coming into the midfield and whatnot. So that was all I meant by that.
So Dan, with Trent starting at right back, does that mean Liverpool's playing 4,312?
No, they're playing 433.
Ah, okay.
Don't make me do numbers. My brain is not operating properly.
KPB, the Arsenal fan, is saying that Joe Linton can have Salah in his pocket tonight.
Apparently, you're not the drunkest person, Dan.
No,
you'll have to forgive me as well. I've got my times completely wrong, so I'm actually having my tea while we're doing this.
You all good, buddy. You all good. It would have to be anybody who actually who'd been betting against that 16-year-old kid at the darts this past week. He's absolute. I'm not a fan of TV darts particularly, because I could never be as good as them, and that makes me feel really bad. Not least because there's a kid on there now who's less than half my age.
All right, shall we give him his name since it's Luke Littleton?
Yes,
it's Luke Littler.
Ah, damn it! Yes, it is. I was so quick to want to jump in on him and correct him.
I knew Luke was his first name. I just couldn't remember his last name. And
the other quarterfinal was actually even more exciting than that. That was another reason why I wasn't almost ready. I was busy watching the darts again, much like I was for Good Cop, Bad Cop. The quarterfinals are amazing.
Yeah, and KPB is saying that Littler is amazing. He really is. And if it had been, you know, a month earlier, he may have won Sports Person of the Year, because he'd actually got
possibly.
one. He actually got
an early favourite, I'm sure, for 2024.
I love the fact that he celebrated his first two victories at Ali Pali by nipping out for a kebab.
If he wins the World Championships, apparently he's got free kebabs for life. I'm not sure who the sponsorship deal is, but yeah.
Yeah, I know awesome. I know that Declan Rice asked him for his autograph, which is saying something. He's a Tottenham fan though, so he was given the director's box. I believe yesterday or maybe on Saturday. I'm not quite sure when they last
Amazing.
played. It's amazing how much people are loving him already.
However, I will say just quickly, he's been getting a lot of flack from a lot of Liverpool fans because somebody paid him to hold up a copy of The Sun. He's a 16-year-old kid. Cut the guy some slack. He's not. It's entirely possible he didn't understand the significance of what that means to, a section of the country.
But I guarantee.
He did not. Somebody did ask the question: why is it okay for James Maddison to hang out with a 16-year-old, but not Adam Johnson to hang out with a 15-year-old? Shall we move on?
And there goes. I think it was the. And there goes our affiliation with NSPCC. Thanks, Graham.
Connor trying to incite things here.
Yeah. Connor getting us back to football. What do we think of Tottenham? Yes, we know Vachan. Yes, Connor, we know Vachan. Yes, we've got two Arsenal fans in the chat today, hoping Liverpool lose. I'm not going to tell you one. It is bizarre seeing Liverpool at the top and Villa second.
What a job!
Absolutely. Arsenal blew their chance to go top, of course, yesterday. And they were winning as well, even more bizarrely. The team that is coming out at Anfield,
Fulham as well, weren't they? The team that finished bottom of the Premier League last year.
Year before, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good weekend for Tony Khan with World's End and Fulham winning.
Not mean to spoil my notes for good cop, bad cop. This coming Friday, Graham. But
the press conference.
I didn't watch the presser yet. That's on my viewing for after this.
He was asked questions.
I imagine he was.
Not about the event either.
I imagine.
Going back to football, KPB, they're saying Arsenal have been poor. They were shit yesterday. To be quite frank,
they fell
apart completely.
Yeah, Connor, you should have seen in our group chat, Graham. Connor was not happy. It was just rant. But that's entirely what your mates are allowed to do. Right, so we're ready to kick off here, gentlemen. What are we drinking tonight? Are we drinking anything in particular, or are you on?
Oh God, no.
Graham's bone dry. Oh well,
I can't even look at alcohol.
I'm on the Baileys tonight.
I got to turn the kettle on in a second.
Other sodas are available.
Absolutely.
This is my prediction.
KPB saying it was a rubbish media scrum. While anyone watching the chat who may have not been here beforehand, welcome. We're looking for what some of your favourite things from over Christmas, New Year, and also transfer windows opened. Who needs what? We want to hear all that sort of stuff throughout today, and we'll pick up on it and give you our opinions. I do.
Man United need a miracle.
Yeah. I want a pretty colourful rant in the Volley group chat. Morning our defending have been so poor. Attack is toothless. Is it MLS season yet? We will be covering more MLS if schedules allow. More our schedules in the new year. As new season, so I'm in the new year, of course, now. So,
that was an interesting wrestling take that only appeared for like a second or two.
Tony Khan said.
Tony Khan said the safest company to work at. He said having fired probably his biggest merchandise seller because he didn't feel safe working with him. Yes, we'll move on from that, shall we? I was referring to the fact that the show was dire, absolutely dire. It was not a good show. Not only because
the first few matches, but I was drunk. So
put it this way: anytime you book Christian versus Copeland, and that was the match itself was great, but it was ruined by the finish. It was absolutely ruined. Absolutely ruined.
As you keep telling me, Matt, the payoff will be worth it at the end.
The payoff wasn't, but the payoff was terrible.
That wasn't the payoff. It's coming. It's still coming. You just thought the payoff was coming.
No. You get one chance to give Adam Copeland his first title reign. and he balls it up like that. What a bunch of cunts.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a good job the boss is not in the chat. I don't think you're. Are
You did it wrong, Matt. You did it wrong, Matt. And this time slot, you've got to say, what a bunch of cunts.
Fair enough.
Like Mags does. KPB saying, which match? The
Which
first
match?
or
The first one or the second one? But the first
And we
one
have
was good. Oh, you're underway, yes. Great. Are you
I am not underway, so you got to wait probably about 90 seconds.
We'll pause at the 10-second mark.
Okay. I will let you know when it's 0, and then I'll count upwards, I guess. I'll do a reverse Royal Rumble countdown.
And we'll hear what happens 90 seconds before it goes from the back room at mine.
All right, they're in the centre circle, so this is
how is Papa Griff's Christmas? Was he all right then, Dan?
Yeah, it was fine. The best part was seeing my nieces in the morning.
Oh,
well, went round to my brother's for breakfast.
Kicked off, and I don't see it. Oh, I now see a clock. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not actually as bad as it was last time I was on. I was about 90 seconds behind. That didn't seem like 90.
Well,
no.
good
ball from Endo.
I was going to say Liverpool were early chance beaten away back to Van Dijk. I'd like to point out that it's clear Liverpool lost the toss because attacking the cop first half. Yes.
Yeah.
I think one thing I've learned from the Graham, this will mean nothing to you in a way, but it's actually quite a significant detail. The FIFA video games over years, they always when you hit me up. Not entirely. I'm sure like Mein Kampf. The team that kicks off always kicks off left to right, Graham. Even when it was Liverpool at home at Anfield, it was only like the last couple of years that they actually turned it around. As the ball comes across to Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, and it's Diaz, and it's cleared out. Szoboszlai and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it's wide.
Okay, Matt, I don't think you clicked pause for the right amount of time because you're still like 10 seconds ahead of me.
1:33, 34, 35.
I'm on 1:38, 1:39.
Oh, well, from what you're saying, it's only like 2 seconds different. They must have the clock wrong then on this because I was way behind you. I was like, why are you cheering Trent? He doesn't even have the ball. Oh, well. Yeah, I'm on 150, 151, 52.
Corner coming in.
53, corner coming in now.
That's weird.
Diaz. Endo. I keep thinking I'm saying Hendo, as in Henderson. Every time I do that. And Diaz down the left here. It would make me laugh. Short sleeves and big thick gloves. On me to do it all the time. It used to make me laugh.
Just get very warm forearms.
Oh, hello. The boss is in. Thank God he wasn't in earlier. Yeah, absolutely.
Best behaviour now, please.
Perfect time.
Great ball by Salah.
Salah ball in. And brought down eventually under his spell.
Yeah, you missed it, so we've had 2 C-bombs already.
Free kick outside the area. I'd like to point, normally in the slot we're in right now would be chain wrestling. Well, this time tomorrow, be here for Cyan Mags for chain wrestling. Live.
KPB trying to start an argument. Hi, Cyan, Man United is shit.
It's a pretty short argument.
I second that.
The game against Forest may have been the lowest point of our season so far, and we've had numbers gone down by wonders now. I think Side's left the chat.
It was a heck of a welcome.
As Trent's over the ball here.
So saying for his amateur club, the lads banned anyone from wearing gloves and snoods, etc. Honestly, the boss was Mr. Matt Lewis C-bomb.
Wouldn't be Monday of that one. Well, to be fair, someone's got to do it. Mags ain't here.
You need to remember to cover your mouth on the next one when it doesn't count.
Well, it was covered by my glass. It's fine. And Trent Alexander-Arnold put the ball in low. It's cleared out again.
You were absolutely right about him. Ended up playing on the left wing as well, Matt.
I said it took 4 minutes to give him right back to left wing. No argument.
You were right about being a short. Yeah, you were right about being a short argument.
I've somehow got a time on my watch. My watch is quite sensitive today. Anyhow, is he long for the job? Is he going to get the sack?
Nah, I think they're going to stick by him with the injury factor, and quite frankly, overachieving last season. I think they'll stay with him because who else is out there?
See, I disagree with you on that, Dan. I honestly think, from what Matt just said earlier as well, they're not giving any more funds. Like, they have a shitload of money. They can easily afford to strengthen. And the idea was you were supposed to keep progressing. You were going to take the worst elements out and replace it with a stronger element. And you were going to do that over time until you could get to the levels that they're hoping to be. So I think if you give them enough of an excuse, I think that could happen. So if they were to lose today, which is that wouldn't be a ridiculous result, actually, considering where Liverpool are. But if they were to lose again after that, I think you might be forcing their hand. And I think that there are people who you can throw money at as well, who will then take that job, who are probably more well-known than, not necessarily better managers, but I don't think that's always the important thing for a team like this.
So, wrestling and football combined in my head then, so everybody's got a price for the $1 billion Saudis.
Everybody. My boss at work said everybody's got a prize sometimes. Talking about refs and things as well. And in my head, every time someone says that, I literally just think of Ted DiBiase. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Connor coming in with some, I'm assuming, hand egg talk here. Oregon leads Liberty 31-6 with 3 minutes played in the second half of the Fiesta Bowl. Lots of these big-time games have been duds. And then Sy follows up and shows his knowledge. 31-6, wow, lots of goals there.
Field goals. There's been a few field goals.
To be fair, it's like a few field goals, to be fair, absolutely. So yeah, we obviously the season, we're in the silly season now. Transfer window's opened. Man United, what do they need besides a miracle at the moment? That's late. Gomez late there.
Oh, but it's Anthony Gordon, so it's fine.
Well, I'm amazed that's not a yellow card, to be fair, because he doesn't get the ball.
Manchester United
nothing dangerous.
Need players who are going to play for the team, who aren't obsessed with money. Basically, the exact opposite of what they've been trying to do for the last few years. They don't need somebody who's in their 30s. They don't need somebody who they're hoping is going to come back to the levels they were previously at. But they have a lot of... I don't think there's a quick fix there, Matt. The stadium's a mess as well. That needs fixing. Their food rating went from 5 to 1. There's so many downsides to that team right now. It's not going to be a quick fix, that's for sure.
We mentioned the terrible food at Old Trafford. Oh my God, the Fiesta Bowl sounds like an awesome caper. To be fair, I'd go there, and hell yeah, I'd go there. And tackled by Newcastle.
And it comes. Oh, good block by Gomez.
Great block by Gomez out for a corner. I have frequented it in a year. Summer deadline day, real Christmas, and January deadline day.
Guys, is there any chance you could pause for like 6 seconds? Because right now this is pointless for me.
What time are you on?
1, 2,
well, it's not that. I just need you to pause for like 6 seconds.
5, 6. Okay.
Because when we're reading the times, you're telling me it's the same time, but we're not seeing the same action.
I'm on 7:55, and Longstaff's about to take the corner.
Yeah.
I've got them just about to take the corner. He's got his arms
He's running up.
Yeah.
It's just taking it.
Now.
Yeah.
That'll tell you whether you got your 6 seconds accurate. I was guessing.
I got you. I'm Latchel and Graham. Dan is still about 1 second in front.
I can live with what 6 seconds was like. You calling the play before it had even developed on mine. Like the wrong team even had the ball. So it was a little. That was.
Bravka goes long. So people watching at home, if you're not watching on various other international channels on Sky Sports, we are 8 minutes 35, 6, 7. Saudi should buy
wholeheartedly disagree with that, Connor.
I think they'll take any owners to get the Glazers out. I don't think they can. Now, Premier League rules actually state you can't be owned by the same people.
Mm-hmm.
But with the good thing is the obviously with Jim Ratcliffe coming in now with Ineos, they own 25% of the club. They take over all football activity, and they have committed to repairing the stadium and upgrading the stadium and the training facilities. These are all important things. These are things which Gary Neville, for example, has been screaming about needing doing for the last year. And they could have started work on Salah. Salah does burn nicely, but can't get his cross in well, and that's definitely a foul there, and it's a free kick to Newcastle in the left back position.
The whole infrastructure of Man United has just been crumbling for years now, and on the pitch stuff has never consistently reached any massive level since Alex Ferguson left.
No, I've had this argument, and me and Graham have had this argument. I think me and Dan have, but I'm going to put it to the chat as well. People say, "Oh, we need to get back to the glory days of Alex Ferguson, and we need to play the United way." Was Ferguson just that good?
Well, you know my theory on that. I think that he came in. I think he was a good manager, but he also came in at a very good time when you had a lot of elite talent coming through at that youth level. To have so many names come in at that same time, having the Neville brothers, you got Nicky Butt, you got Ryan Giggs, you got all those types of people. They were very blessed that they had so much talent come in.
Liverpool a corner time here, which Dominic Szoboszlai, handsome Dom, that take.
I was just about to say handsome Dom.
Comes in, and a punt by the Bravka could have caught that. Trent put it back in the mixer. It's clear that again, and Salah.
At least we haven't had any pervert corners yet. Sai coming in there with United. United not been helped by this season with the injury list. Worse off than Newcastle for months, but it's not viewed in the same way for some reason. It's because everybody hates United. But the club has been rotting for years. And United have had an extensive injury list, which again doesn't help. But it's the fact that it's the lack of consistency in the team. One day they look like world beaters, then the next they go out and look utter shit, as if every player there just cannot be arsed.
KDB
and that's the worrying thing.
Is giving some solace to anyone.
Oh, wow!
Oh, Nunes doesn't bear it. Jones, great save by Dubravka.
Go on, Endo.
Endo runs one up. Into the cup it goes. KDB says there's one positive thing I can say from the Man United, they're not Spurs. Sai says, lads, you want to talk United? I could do one for 20 minutes-ish, maybe. Welcome to come along, buddy. Welcome to come along.
I would say, as far as I know, United haven't really had any injuries with the forwards. They've had all those players, but the only team they've scored more than, I believe, this year is Sheffield United. And I'm going to say Burnley. I know there's only two teams that have scored fewer goals than Manchester United. And
let's have a look.
Perhaps if it's the midfield that's injured, they're not getting the balls to those forwards. But that's an appalling statistic.
Yeah.
If you can't score goals, you're not winning games.
United have scored 22 goals, which is the same as Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Luton have scored 23. Burnley 20. Sheffield United 15.
Yeah.
Wow. Luton scored more goals
less,
Luton have had a terrible start to the season. Well, actually, they've played some good football, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Which is nice.
Luton are definitely getting better.
And
with the United thing, though,
by Joe Linton,
they've had a similar problem to what Liverpool had a few years back, where they've had 9 different centre-back pairings already this season.
Yeah.
So when you don't have settled centre-backs, we had Nat Phillips and Reece Williams come in, who were playing Fabinho there, Henderson. It makes it
still qualified for the Champions League that season.
Just, but yes, we did.
Exactly. But what's Manchester United 8th right now?
7th. The boss says, "Give me a sec to set up. I'll be out for about 20 minutes. We can talk about how terrible my club is."
So Man United's current injury list: Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Martial, Harry Maguire, Jadon Sancho's not an injury. That's an issue between him and Ten Hag.
Do you know what? I'll give him 5 minutes. We'll have him.
Yeah. But the thing is, Sancho's had behavioural issues wherever he's been, and with the England squad. So
yeah, but the difference is that someone like Klopp or Pep would beat it out of him. Not literally, but you know what I mean.
With a shoe.
Connor with the last time I checked, Scottish Scott is their leading scorer, and
I'm
he's
sure that's true.
And it's centre mid, defensive mid. Let's not forget, of course, that Rasmus Højlund they paid all that money for. He only got his first Premier League goal after 1,000 Premier League minutes on Boxing Day.
Anthony only scored one Premier League goal in the whole of 2023.
I'm still not through their injury list either.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry. I thought you were done.
So last one. No, Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund's injured now. Sofian Amrabat, Tyrell Malacia, and Victor Lindelof. That's 11 players unavailable.
I can make it even worse at this point. Come start of Africa Cup of Nations, Onana actually leaves to go to join Cameroon as well.
Addition by subtraction. I think that's one of their big mistakes. Letting somebody like De Gea leave, and then you bring in Onana as a replacement. You can tell me how many clean sheets he's kept in the Premier League. I don't care. I do not think that he's anywhere near the keeper that David De Gea is or was.
His clean sheets are terrible. Absolutely terrible.
There was a point when Manchester United fans were quoting that stat. Onana, I think, hasn't he conceded 40 goals already this season? I know that includes other competitions as well, but that's a lot.
I believe so. Yes. Foul there on Endo, and Liverpool were attacking free kick here, and KPP who actually is watching the game. I
got one more cool stat that I read this morning as well. Manchester United lost 5 games in December for the first time since the 1930s. Wonderful, the point is, Manchester might have some injuries as well, but you got to have that. You got to have that squad, and they don't have a squad. Like, they can't cope with, even if they have their best team out there, they're not that good right now. So there needs to be a lot of changes.
Is that
ball in from Trent, header from Nunez.
Ball for Trent, Nunez, and it's just over the bar. Trent actually has the most assists, the joint most assists by defenders in Premier League history already.
And the other one with the most assists, Andy Robertson.
Andy Robertson, yeah.
57 each, which is frankly ridiculous.
Isn't he close to being ready to come back? I know you said Owen Beck had been recalled, but
Robertson came back for at least another month.
Oh, okay. I thought I'd heard less than that.
Robertson, Salah turns burn.
Little clip.
Chips it, looking for Nunez. We're getting a bit of Papa Griff there. I couldn't hear it. I said, you know, in the video, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. one of these days, I'm gonna have like a camera on him, and I'm gonna do a compilation.
I think we lose monetization. Connor saying, didn't you know pay something like 50 million for Rasmus?
More,
closer to 8.
72.
I believe near 80, isn't it? Yeah. And that's 72 with add-ons.
Oh, what a ball for Nunez.
Oh, what a ball for Darwin Nunez.
Yeah!
Oh,
and it's finished by Luis Diaz.
Great stuff.
Hold on. Is it? We shouldn't celebrate yet. VAR could come in at this. We need a.
Oh, it's offside.
I realised it was too early. I celebrated way too early. Oh,
it'll be checked.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. That looked level.
KPB saying we need dad cam. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I also want to get like a live blood pressure monitor on him whenever he watches sport.
Okay,
like
we've got
American football stadiums, they have like a decibel counter, so you can see how much the fans are cheering. You could do that same thing with that blood pressure thing as well. That'd be awesome.
VAR review.
Oh,
that's
he's just off, I think.
Well, do they go by the feet or are they doing that stupid furthest forward scoring part of your body?
I don't see a line yet, but I think he's ahead, unfortunately. But it was very close. Who played the ball in? That was a great ball.
I didn't see it. I don't know if it was Boz. Or it might have been Jones.
Look at the gap between those central defenders, though. That's huge. That's not a good sign for Newcastle.
Yeah, that's an omen, isn't it, right there? If it's not given, let's see now. Looking at it, looks more like it could be.
What baffles me is how some games we see the lines and some you don't. You know, when they're doing the VAR check.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Oh, now I see a
Yeah,
line.
he's off.
It's offside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you needed the line for that one. I think you could tell, unfortunately.
That's fair. That's fine. We did think it was, but
It was
as you were
very
saying,
close.
it's not,
It wasn't that close, Connor.
Wow. I thought you very care about Isabel Argus, buddy. Oh, look at the drive here.
I don't know, Nunes. My question is, do you reckon like Nunes' pubic topiary matches his haircut?
I don't think about it.
Referee! That's a penalty. That's
Penalty given.
We'll have it.
No VAR needed for that one.
Okay, am I a couple of seconds ahead of you guys now?
I know I'm a couple
target.
of seconds ahead of Matt, so I'm just trying to keep it.
I don't even know why you're
It's all
talking
over
to
the
the
shop
ref.
today.
That's a definite PK.
They want VAR looking at it. Let's have a look. Is it a foul?
It's
Doesn't
a
get the
definite
ball.
foul.
Does hang his leg a little
like
bit.
He does catch.
He got
him,
contact
but-
on his foot. His foot contacted him. That's
It's one of those where there's contact and he's gone down, but yeesh.
It is a penalty, but it's not a penalty.
It is. No, that's if that's not given, then I might be leaving this a little earlier. I need to go and rent out. What's one of those aggression?
KPB was spoiling the chat, so don't look.
No way! Shut up!
I don't know if he. I don't know if
He might be taking the piss because KPB is actually behind you, Graham, with his feed. If we remember from earlier.
This better be some trolling right now.
Connor saying, give it to Salah, need the FPL points before he goes to AFCON. Yeah, same.
We want a goal before he goes to the AFCON.
Yeah. He needs to carry on climbing the rankings now that he's officially in the top 10 all-time Premier League scorers.
The ref's pointing to the spot. He's nodding. He's pointing.
Yeah,
he's nodding. Yeah,
penalty.
We got a troll in the chat, gentlemen.
Well, KPB, we appreciate the love, sir. And Salah takes the ball.
Come on, Mo.
I'm going to stay quiet so I can tell from your reactions if I'm ahead or behind. I thought the ref was taking a penalty then. That was just the angle. I don't know if you got the same angle then. It looked like the ref was running up.
Yeah, I saw that. Come on. Oh, you bastard.
Saved!
Oh.
And Trent puts it over!
I'm 1 second ahead of Dan and about 2 seconds ahead of Matt.
Pair of dickheads, both of them.
What the hell have Liverpool got to do to score in this game? VAR!
Well,
damn it.
Save. And
that was such a bad penalty.
Bad penalty. Gentlemen, I did a double click on pause by accident and now I'm like 5 seconds behind you. We'll figure it out.
That sounds like a you problem.
I might be able to skip to live then.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, I can just skip to live.
Mr. Missing a bloody penalty. He does one every season.
Yeah, why did I? But the thing is, Newcastle are on the back foot here in general.
Yeah, they are for sure.
So they're probably going to go 1-0 up.
KPB saying just keeping it interesting, and between us, of course, and Connor applauding the save.
I could have saved that one. I used to play goalkeeper.
To be fair, you've still been in the right place.
Oh, look at that. Liverpool miss a penalty, and we have a guest coming in.
Oh, hello.
Do we? Oh, here he is, looking bemused and bewildered. Yeah, I know. We have to end delay for Graham.
My light was incredibly bright, so I had to sort that out first of all. I don't know what's going on with that. How are we doing, gents? We good?
Mags looks
well, it wasn't until Salah put that penalty.
I'll pre-warn you, I've not got the Liverpool game on, so I can't talk about that. But as I said, if you want to talk United for a few minutes, I'm here.
No, you didn't miss anything, Si. That's good.
Did I not?
Apart from Salah fluffing a penalty.
Shh. Oh, okay. So I didn't miss anything, but obviously he did. Fair enough.
Well, it was saved. It was not a miss. It was a save.
Yeah, it was a save.
Okay.
So
Although it
20
wasn't much of a
minutes
save.
played.
Well,
So
these things
miss-
happen to every player at some point, don't they?
They do. Speaking of things going wrong for their teams, Si, do you want to defend your team at all, or to attack them?
I don't
Because Man
think I
United can't do
particularly
either.
want. I don't think I want to particularly defend my team, but at the same time, I don't think I'm going to hack them to bits either. I think there's two sides to a great deal of what's going on at Manchester United right now. One is the historical issues, the long-term issues that have been going on for 15, 20 years at this football club. It's what we're seeing at United now, and the rot and the decline and hitting these lows that we're hitting at the moment isn't just because of what's happening this season or even in the last 3 or 4 years. This started way back in at the end of Ferguson's era. This was terrible recruitment. Initially, it began with behind the scenes. We're seeing people bought into the football club. I'm not talking just the Glaziers. I'm talking people who work for them, underneath them, and around Ferguson and so on. We're talking people who are coming into the football club who got no right to be working for a high-level football club such as a United or a Newcastle or a Liverpool or an Arsenal or whatever. They got no right to be at that level. The recruitment on that aspect was terrible back then. It filters down from there. So what we've ended up doing is, first of all, not spending money in the right places, because United as a club, as a business, still commercially generate one of the highest amounts of money in world football. But that money gets took out the club all the time for the Glaziers to either A, pay off debts, or B, line their own pockets. So what you're seeing is a deterioration all over the club. But now we're seeing it on the football pitch as well. I mean, Graham made a great point earlier about how you sort of improve each position a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. And over years, the club, I think it was Newcastle you were talking about, Graham, when you were having that, making that point.
Yeah.
The opposite has happened at Manchester United. If you go back to when we had Gary Neville playing for us in the late 90s, early 2000s, at that point, Neville was potentially he was the best right back in the country. He was superb.
Yeah.
When Neville stepped down, we were moving then to Wes Brown, who was good, but not quite as good. From Brown, we stepped down to Raphael. Good, but defensively, maybe not quite as good. And it's just constant little step backwards, little step backwards, little step backwards. The same for the centre of midfield. You know, Roy Keane and Michael Carrick was a hugely underrated footballer. When Carrick left, we never really replaced him. We went back to Paul Scholes coming out of retirement to fill that gap for a little while. And he was much better than anything else we had in the squad, which should have been a warning sign there. You know, centre half is another thing. You look back to, in my opinion, one of the best centre-back partnerships of all time in Vidic and Ferdinand. They get replaced with Smalling, Jones, then Rojo.
Oh my God! Sorry,
I know he was terrible.
That tackle was disgusting.
I thought you were going to say Pallister and Bruce side to begin with. I'm there ready to nod.
Oh,
with you.
Pallister and Bruce. I was a big fan of.
Yeah,
big fan of Pallister and Bruce. Yeah, but I'm talking like the last great. Yeah, the last. I mean, because Pallister and Bruce were fantastic, but then after them you had Stam and Johnson and Silvestre, all brilliant as well. I'm talking about when their decline started.
Silvestre, really?
Yeah, Silvestre was a very good player for us.
In my head, all I've got in my head is the words from Barry Davis at the Club World Cup shouting, "Get rid of it, Silvestre!" Because but
that's one instance, man, isn't it?
I know, but when that's your overriding memory of one player, it's not good.
Yeah. No, he had a shocker as well. I think it was a shocker at Anfield, to be fair. He had a game at Anfield where he was particularly poor. But he was wonderful for us. Lightning quick, Silvestre. Very, very good. Very good player for us for that period. But from there, you're stepping down to the likes of Rojo, Smalling, Jones. And then from there, again, we're stepping down even further. And when you do that in one or two positions on the pitch, you can kind of manage to a degree. When you do it to 3 or 4, then 5 or 6, then 7 or 8 over the course of 10 years, it's not like You're putting so much damage in, and you can't just hit the brakes and stop. It's not like stopping a push bike and turning around. A club the size of Manchester United is like trying to steer a battleship. So where we've had all these issues making the club deteriorate and have lesser quality, to change that is going to take a huge, monumental financial injection or loads and loads of time. Now, presently, I mean that I suppose in a way is defending the current side and defending Ten Hag, because I'm talking about issues that have been there for much longer than some of the people at the club are now, the present day. But here's where the second point of United's issues come in. They don't help themselves. Ten Hag, I think, I'm not Ten Hag out, by the way, yet. We're approaching that way, but I'm not Ten Hag out, because I look around and think, who else can you bring in? Who else can you? I mean, if you're looking at the usual suspects, I mean, Graham Potter was thrown around a little. No, thank you. That's ridiculous. The usual suspects band around, like the Italian fella who was at Chelsea, Conte, is it? He comes in, does a job for 2 seasons, and leaves again. We don't. That's not going to fix the issues you've got at United. So to me, well, exactly. But to me, if Ten Hag goes, it's just another manager that this set of players has seen off. And I would use. I'll single out one individual specifically as being the epitome, I suppose, or the best example I can give of player trouble at Manchester United, and that's Anthony Martial. Now, if you look at Martial's career cycle over the last 9 years of being at Manchester United, there's obviously ability there. He's got a little bit of pace about him. He's got a good touch. He can finish. He's fairly cool in front of goal. But then he only plays half the games anyway because he's made a Weetabix and falls apart all the time. And then, secondly, his attitude stinks when things don't go his way. Now, if you look at how the likes of Van Gaal, Mourinho, and what we're seeing now with Ten Hag as well, the sort of cycle we're getting, players such as Martial, and there's plenty of them in that club, I'm just using him as an example. Players such as Martial, when the new manager comes in, they'll give you 6 months of being top class. They'll give you 6 months of looking good. And then, I don't know whether they start to settle down. I don't know whether the new manager is bringing in new players to replace certain aspects of it, or I don't know what it is. Then you start seeing the same issues arising again and again and again. Mourinho is not a bad football manager. He has been successful at every single football club he's been at, barring maybe Spurs. But then I don't think anyone can be at Spurs.
No one's been successful.
I mean, he finished second and won a trophy with United, with a squad that you look down that list of players, they were nowhere near good enough to be in that situation. Van Gaal, as much as I hated the Van Gaal period at Manchester United because I found it boring, I found the football just absolute dross and hard to watch. Van Gaal is a successful football manager. He has been successful pretty much, not always, but pretty much wherever he has been. Now, he came in at United and couldn't make it work. And our recruitment, again, on the player level was all over the place. We needed to fix our midfield for a long, long time. But we're going out and we're buying a 97-year-old Bastian Schweinsteiger who hasn't got a good knee, on either leg. We're going out and buying Schneiderlin from, he went to Everton. Where did he come from?
Southampton.
Southampton he came from, yes, thank you. Good player for Southampton. Should have been nowhere near a club that, a top 6 club. Nowhere near good enough.
He wasn't.
We got other good ones.
Exactly. But we're buying players like that to fix a problem. But we're fixing the problem. It's almost like having an illness and giving somebody the wrong medicine. It's like we know there's an issue there, so we'll bring in this. But it's like that's not going to fix the problem. And that again comes back to recruitment, no direction on the football level, no direction above the manager, and you look at the people underneath the Glaziers who have supposed to be running football operations for the last decade and a half, 20 years, whatever. They're obviously clueless because the recruitment is so poor. And United are just in a situation where they've been rotten from the top down for so long that it's literally now dripped through every other aspect of the club. It's been affecting the pitch, the on-pitch performances for quite a while. And then now we're in the situation we're in. That's kind of where we're at. You know, in my mind. I mean, I'm no expert. That's just how I see it as a United fan. I watch the games each week.
I hate to disagree
on.
with you. I hate to disagree with you, Simon. At any point, you know me.
No, you don't. You fucking love it.
But someone in the chat has said you are an expert, and that is Connor saying that you are a resident United super fan and expert on the volley. So you are very much, as far as Connor is concerned, an expert.
Well, that's very kind.
KPB is saying what you need is you need Neil Warnock, apparently.
I'd like to talk about one player, and I think I don't know if I just have a hate against him, but I seem to mention him particularly every time I come on this show. Anthony. Played a lot. Is that his name? I call him Fidget Spinner, so I never remember his real name. I think it's Anthony. Like, you talked about players playing well.
Why do you call him Fidget Spinner?
That's his nickname. That's what I
he
saw
went round and round and round and round in that one game.
He turns around but doesn't do anything.
Nunes is in.
Nunes in! And say Dubravka!
I'm obviously not live then at all. I'm about 10 seconds behind you guys.
And again, Nunes and say Dubravka, followed up by Spozolai, and it's peering out a little bit. Nothing's happened whilst I've been talking at all. Nothing's happened while I've been talking to you. So we were watching it, and all Liverpool fans are just sitting here. It's just going back and forth, like Michael Carrick passing it back and forth. That's whatever happens. So yeah.
So I was going to say, I don't think he even gave you 6 good months, but he's kind of that typical player who's ruined your team as far as I'm concerned. Like, you spend a lot of money on it. I don't know why he's so bad. Like, you don't spend that money. This is Erik ten Hag's player. That was the person who was on his team. So where is it? Is it on Anthony? Is it Erik ten Hag just doesn't know what he's talking about? Like, that's very strange. They clearly overpaid for him when you look at other players that were
you shit.
Newcastle
1-0
offside.
Newcastle.
Offside.
Yeah, I'm way behind you guys.
Is it offside?
Whether he's got his arm up.
Oh, thank God for that.
All right, it's offside, thank goodness. But there's other players like Pogba. Like, you let him go for free, and then you bring him back for 90 million. And
Twice for free.
Yep.
Yeah, not good. They paid 90 million for him one time, right? I don't think they bought him back twice.
Yeah,
they paid. It was a lot of money.
Yes.
I can't remember the guy's name. Connor's in the chat, thankfully. Who was the Arsenal forward who was a really obnoxious twat? Who they paid?
Alexis Sanchez.
Thank you. Who they paid about 400,000 a week for. Like, there's lots of players like that where they paid maximum. Harry Maguire, like, that was a British record. That might have been a world record for a defender at that time. And
it was.
when you look what you got out for it, it's just nothing in return. So is it just the players I don't know. I can't understand. Like, it's not that there's not been an investment. When I keep hearing people say they need to invest, they have invested a lot of money, but it's not been well spent money. I don't know if they've picked wrong players or they've paid over the I think there's like a Liverpool preview. Liverpool used to have that. You used to have to overpay for people. And I think now people know Manchester United, hey, they have the money, so they'll overpay. But there's been a massive underperformance from a lot of those big players.
I mean, if I may
first of all, sorry, Matt. No, you carry on, Matt. Go on.
If I may come in briefly, Ajax do their business very early, usually in Holland. They tend to sell one player a year to keep themselves going. And they did that, obviously, with the centre half they sold this year, Martinez. So they sold him for about 50 million, 50, 60 million, something like that. Good business. Good business for Ajax, keep them ticking over. And then knock on the door. Hello, can we have Anthony? We'll pay you 85 million. What? Absolutely, you can have 85 million.
I mean, I can appreciate how it
overpaying massively.
I'm not doing that. Overpaying 100%. I mean, we'll approach Anthony first because that was the player that Graham brought up first. With regards to the purchasing timeline, we went in for Anthony as early as late June, and they turned around and said we've got to sale. So we went back in again with a bigger bid, and eventually we then didn't get to buy the player until August. So it's not like we went in August and said, "Here's a wedge of cash." We approached first of all a good 8 weeks before that. Buying the player initially, I can understand why he would appeal. He worked for Ten Hag before. He's very young. What is he, 20, 21, 22, something like this? He's an international. and a great deal,
Sorry, Trent just hit the post, by the way, from an angle he had no right to even think about.
You're not kidding.
And just
he's 23, he'll be 24 in February, Si.
Okay, there you go, 24.
Time check for KPB, sorry, is 39:08:09. Sorry, 39:10, 11, 12. Sorry, Si, carry on.
Okay, sorry, mate. Anthony, again, he's approaching 24 now. So he's been at the club a year or two. So we'd have signed him at what, 22, 21 going on 22, 22, something like that. Okay. You're expecting, in theory, to get. They sign 5-year deals now, don't they? They don't sign longer than that unless they're below a certain age. So if you break it down, 80 million over 5 years, how much money you're paying for a season? Financially, it's probably not as bad a deal numbers wise as it may seem when you look at the fee in one big lump sum, because he's so young and you've got that long period where you can get out of him. And again, if he re-signs for another 5 years, you're getting 10 years out of this player if he develops the way you want it to. I can appreciate why United were looking at, or Ten Hag especially was looking at him. He was a very important player for Ten Hag in that Ajax team where they did incredibly well. They made a Champions League semi-final, and this isn't a Dutch league like the Dutch league once was, where it was a European powerhouse, or you even had, say, 3 or 4 clubs that were strong. This is a very weak Dutch league, and Ten Hag won it at a canter and made the Champions League semi-final, taking some big scalps in that time. And Anthony looked very, very good in the Champions League then. I think there's 2 issues with the Anthony situation. He's not worth that huge lump sum. He's not. If we'd got him for half that, say 40 million quid, at that age, I'd be thinking, okay, that's not too bad a shout. That's okay. But we are massively overpaid for him. That's become more and more apparent now. That is a big issue, because whenever someone says Anthony's not performed, the very next sentence is always the price tag. If it's Anthony's not performed and we got him for 30, 40 million, it don't seem quite as dramatic an issue.
And then secondly, the problem how people look at it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. He only scored 1 goal in the whole of 2023. Even if you'd have got him for 40 million, I still say that whatever the price is, he's underperformed massively. A similar time.
No, I totally agree.
I don't think he's been at Manchester United quite as long as you think. I think it's only just over a year at the most.
This is his second season. But the
similar time that the transfer, Cody Gakpo for Liverpool. Now, I know Jamie Carragher slammed him recently, which I wanted to talk to you two guys about later. I actually thought he's done a pretty good, decent job. I actually, as a player, I like for Liverpool. I'd like to see a bit more time. But that was around that 40 million mark. But he has been scoring. I don't know how many goals he's got. I don't have those figures on the top of my head. But yeah, the transfer market, it's massively overpaid, and he hasn't performed at whatever. Even if you'd have paid 10 million for him, he still wouldn't have been like, "Whoa, what a bargain we got for 10 million."
I think I agree. I'm not a fan. I want to say this first of all. I'm not sitting here trying to defend Anthony. No. I'm not a fan. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and try and explain why these people who are supposedly football experts and paid a lot of money at a club like Manchester United were a fan enough to buy him. I'm trying to not justify the decision, but try and look at it as to why they may have thought, okay, well, that was a good idea. I look at Anthony.
Sorry, just to come in quickly on Gakpo, Graham. 50 appearances for Liverpool, 14 goals.
Yeah.
But Gakpo was a player United were after as well. He got beaten to him by Liverpool. So
yeah, it was. I think he turned them down. Yeah.
Yeah. With regards to sorry, Matt. With regards to
saying about players on the come in.
With regards to Anthony as a player, again, to me, there's 2 sides of the coin with him. He's obviously got ability. You see him, he works hard as well. He works incredibly hard. You see him quite often back with his own fullback, winning the ball back, and so on. He's obviously got ability. You see him go past 3 or 4 players, but there's never any end product. If anything, he reminds me of the couple of years we had at the very beginning of Nani's career at Manchester United. Arrived for a decent sum of money, had a bit of pace, had a few tricks up his sleeve. It was almost effectively, I wouldn't say a circus act because that sounds too harsh, but he could do all the tricks and flicks that would make a good YouTube video, I suppose. But there was never any end product.
And it's met off again.
Yeah, there was never any end product. And that's kind of what we have with Anthony now, I feel.
Yeah, it's a problem that needs to be addressed quickly, but at the same time, it's not a quick fix. I
No.
mean, I mean, one of my things I love most at the moment is watching Gary Neville and Roy Keane melt down on Sky Sports every week
Right.
because it's literally become a hobby for me. Now that is amusing for me to do, but at the same time, as a Liverpool fan, when I see Man United, it should give me pleasure seeing them in this sort of position. It's not giving me pleasure, which may sound bizarre, but I want to beat Man United at their best.
Yes, I understand.
Because it's otherwise.
I want to beat them when they're absolutely shit and pound them into the dirt.
Don't get me wrong. I like getting a win. I like getting. Do not misunderstand me.
Yeah, no, I understand. There's always that rivalry there. I get you, but at the same time,
Luis Diaz has been booked for, and rightly, for mouthing off.
After being fouled.
He was bowled over, but I will just point out that a moment ago, Bruno Jimenez at over the pitch, he's missing part of his shirt from a foul from a Liverpool.
We saw just before Joe Linton just ran up behind Núñez and just went with like the double-handed club on his shoulder. But the referee.
When you started doing this, I thought you said he was going to whip his shorts down.
it was the Keith Lee like double pound bear chop.
Okay. Do you mind if I just quickly dive into a couple more players that Graham mentioned at United?
Please do. I know your time is limited, so
yeah, okay.
5 minutes. There's 5 minutes added on at Anfield just for people.
High club coming soon.
You mentioned Harry Maguire. Now, we massively overpaid for Harry Maguire, which seems to be the United way and has been for the last several years. But the issue we have is we only have a set amount of money to spend. So when we massively overpay for Harry Maguire, we then cannot go out and get players to fill other positions that we have issues in. The recruitment that particular year, or that particular two-year period, or whatever it was, again, I felt they were ticking boxes rather than really looking into what was required. We had an issue at right back for a long time. We went out and bought Wan-Bissaka. 60 odd million pounds or whatever it was, 59 million, whatever it was around the 60 million ballpark anyway. On paper, if you're looking statistically, and this always cracks me up as well because people always talk about he's got this many goals in this many games and all. And okay, statistics are interesting, but football's not played on paper; it's played on grass. It's a completely different scenario. Now, but statistically, Aaron Wan-Bissaka won more tackles than any other fullback in the league the year before we bought him, and everyone knows how good he is 1v1. He's superb. But this is playing for a team, Crystal Palace, where they would have, 25% of the ball? Most games? So he's on the back foot for the majority of the time. When you're playing for Manchester United, you need to be comfortable in possession. In theory, your fullbacks, a footballer, Luke Shaw's a good example. In theory, in your fullbacks, Luke Shaw, he gets forward, he joins in, and he's a good attacking weapon for Manchester United. Wan-Bissaka at right back doesn't give us that. And that's, again, 60 odd million pounds spent on a solution to a problem that only half solves the issue. And that's a lot of money being spent that could then go elsewhere. Maguire has been an issue as well. His similar situation when we bought Maguire in, playing for a club where he would spend the majority of his time defending. When United are in a situation where we have to, I suppose, tactically, the way they want to play, they want to have a high line. We're going to control the game, have lots of possession. Our goalkeeper, in theory, is going to step forward into almost like a sweeper role and have the ball at his feet as well. You'll notice our fullbacks, Dalot, especially when he's playing at left back, Dalot will go into the centre of midfield. Our centre backs will split. And normally that would be Martinez going out to almost a left back position, Varane or whoever going out to a right back position, and we outnumber the opposition in the centre of the park with Casemiro, Eriksen, and so on. That was happening before the injuries this season. The problem we have with that when we're trying to play Maguire all the time is Maguire hasn't got the pace to play a high line. So we're constantly caught then. Do we play with a bit of a deeper back four, which then cancels out everything else we're trying to do on the pitch? Or do we play with that high back line and get caught every time somebody hits us on the break? The obvious thing is to move Maguire on. The obvious thing is to move Maguire on, which they tried to do this summer. And we then come back to the terrible recruitment at Manchester United because Harry Maguire is on £300,000 a week. we were willing to let him go to West Ham for. You'll have to remind me of the transfer fee, lads. You'll know better than I, but was it like 20 million to West Ham? 25. Okay, thank you.
2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We were willing to let him go for that.
It was certainly cutting losses.
Yeah, well, again, you say cutting losses. He's played for us for X amount of years. We've had a lot of service out of him. You know, he wasn't a bad player for the first 12 months he was at the club. So yes, okay, if you look black and white, literally at the figures, yes, we're taking less money than we bought him for, but we've also had years of service and so on, which can sometimes counterbalance that to a degree. But anyway, the issue was his wages. Who the fuck is paying this guy £300,000 a week? Why are we paying him £300,000 a week? Because what happens then is we've got a footballer there that we need to move on for the advancement of the team, but we cannot move him on because Maguire's like, I ain't going to West Ham and taking £100,000 a week. Sod that. I'm going to sit on the bench here, mate, and earn 3 times that. And rightfully so. Good luck, Harry Maguire. I take the freaking money. So again, that all comes back to terrible recruitment years ago, affecting what we're trying to do now. And that's why you got Ten Hag, who wants to do things a certain way, but is doing it with his hands tied behind his back because of issues in the football club that have been there for the last God knows how many years. It's such a long-term process turning around what we've got. There's so many issues at this club that need rectifying. It's absolutely shocking the way it's been managed over the last 10, 15, 20 years. And hopefully, new people coming in, the fact that Ineos and Radcliffe are insisting we're in charge of the football aspect of things, and it looks like they're going to get rid of a lot of the Glazier staff and bring in their own people, a director of football, a technical director, and so on, their own scouting systems and so on. And the fact that the deal, if it goes through, the Premier League have got to approve it yet. It could still not go through, of course. The deal says that the Glaziers aren't allowed to take any money out of the club for the next 3 years. Let's see where we are in 3 seasons' time. Who knows? But when we're talking about problems right now, this started 10, 15, 20 years ago. And that's why we're in the scenario. And Maguire is the perfect example as to what were the issues we've got right now.
Do you feel a bit better for having got off your chest, sir?
It makes no odds to me. Honestly, I've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with my mates already. I've had this conversation with my wife. It makes no odds to me. I'm mature enough, I think, to know how these things work. You know, when I was 12, 13, 14 years of age, I have conversations with my son sometimes about football, and he gets all wound up and agitated because this has happened. I'm just shrugging my shoulders like, it is what it is now. I'm lucky enough to have lived through an incredibly successful period for Manchester United. As a football fan, I was incredibly blessed with what I lived through. No other football fan in the Premier League era, up till now, I mean, Man City may go on and surpass this, whatever, but no football fan in the Premier League era has lived through what Manchester United fans of my age and above lived through. I feel incredibly fortunate to have lived through that period. And I saw some wonderful footballers, wonderful memories, wonderful goals, incredible matches that are going to live with me till the day I die. Now we're suffering, and football is secular. It'll come round, and as Liverpool fans, you'll know yourselves. You were glorious decades ago, then you had a shit time, and now you're on the ascendancy again. That's how these things work. Unless, of course, you're Man City.
Just had the misfortune to be around at the same time as Pep City team.
There you go. That's the issue, isn't it? When you get real football clubs like United and Liverpool operate in that way. When you get anomalies that aren't real football clubs like Manchester City, they're playthings of millionaires, it's a different scenario.
Yeah, I once said this to a friend of mine offline. Manchester City are not a big football club; they're a rich football club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a funny one.
Right, it is half time, which means I must press the button. So brace yourself, guys. This is Sai's wonderful video he made for me. Pie Club. A delayed start to the half-time Pie Club, but that's okay. The boss was talking me. Let him finish.
Is the whistle a bit loud? Is that why you take your headphones off?
Yes.
It's all loud.
The volume
all really loud.
The volume needs adjusting ever so slightly. Lots.
If I remember, I'll sort that out. Okay. If I remember, remind me. Send me a message, and I'll sort that out.
At the start as well. The one at the start, I had to do this.
Did you really? Okay.
I don't even have headphones on, but it was so loud just through my speaker.
That may be more
You
your
know, you
speaker
can turn
being
your
turned
laptop
up
down.
loud.
Yeah.
Well, but then I only did hear you guys. I didn't know that it was coming that loud. It took me by surprise.
So yeah,
My
well,
natural
well,
reaction is when you hear something that loud is to do this.
right,
It's only
so
the volley
we'll-
ones that have that effect. I think. I don't know if I had something set different when I made those. I'm not sure, but I'll go back in and I'll have a look.
I appreciate that, side. Now, you're welcome to stay for half-time, partner, but I know you said you had 20 minutes and you had 25, so I don't want to keep you from your good
Yeah, I
ladies,
do need to
obviously.
depart. I do need to depart. I've got
Well-
some, and plus I'm going to be incredibly misleading because I haven't got a pie. So
Absolutely, so, but of course, Si will be back here tomorrow with his lordship. We expecting chicken news, I guess, with everything else in there as well. No
I
doubt?
imagine so. Yeah, Hogan is a Billy bullshitter. Will be there. Our non-wrestling topic about basically 2024 and what you want for it. We're looking at covering. At the moment, it looks like Cody Rhodes versus Nick Aldis. That's winning the poll, but obviously people can go and change that if they go and vote in the Chain Wrestling Twitter account there.
Indeed,
Yeah.
it's Cody versus Aldis or Edge versus Angle, Hair versus Hair from Judgment
That's
Day
correct.
2002.
That
Great
is,
match. Either way, you'll be spoiled, guys and gals and non-binary pals.
Thank you so much for your time, gents. I've had a blast coming on here and just basically venting a bit about United. I hope I didn't go on too much. I apologise if I did, but I want to.
Thanks.
I
It's
find
okay,
it
Not much
difficult.
happened.
You distracted us.
Yeah.
From
I
the
find it-
body play.
The
I
first
find it
half,
difficult to get my
Liverpool-
points across in the chat
You're all
properly,
good.
and then I get frustrated with myself.
Yeah.
So
You're all good. Liverpool had 18 shots in that first half.
okay,
Sounds like my night last night.
And on that note, it's time to talk
I'll
pie.
see you again, gents.
Take care, Si.
Bye,
See ya.
Take care, Si. Right,
Just
let's
seeing
go
I drink that beer made me feel vaguely sick.
right, around the table then, guys. Let's start with our guest. Graham, you have a pie?
No, I've eaten it.
What was
Whilst
your
I
pie,
was
sir?
talking, it seemed like normally that's the problem because you want to ask questions and you can't because you're eating the pie at the same time. It was a sausage gravy pie.
Very nice.
Sausage and
too.
gravy pie. It was good.
Very, very nice too. Mr.
Sausage
Dan.
by American, gravy by American standards. It was not like a Bisto type thing. It was.
That's okay. It's still.
It was
still
good.
be
It was good.
It was
Just
very
a
good.
just a cheapo, but it was good.
What are you having, Daniel?
I have got an applesauce topped pork pie from Wensleydale.
Very nice. Very nice. And I've just gone for just a Morrison steak. Morrison steak. It does the job. Now I got told off last time for doing this. I'm gonna do it again. To piss Dan off.
Check his hard drive.
Use a fork. What are you using your fingers for?
I'm trying to peel it off because I like dipping my crust in me gravy.
I like how we all
Quite-
just
it's quite
mention
full.
what type of pie it is, but not like what brand it is. Because you know I hate sponsorship, Matt.
Said the rough things at the ruffles again. And the ruffles again. Mine are the Morrisons. Simple pack of four. Pack of four steak. And they do the job very nicely. But
Yeah, I'm hoping
I
this sees
think-
off the hangover.
I did cook it 2 hours ago, so it is quite cold now.
I just saw the stat that you mentioned, Dan, that Liverpool had 18 shots. 5 of them were on goal. Newcastle had 1 shot, and it was not on goal. So very,
Well,
very
we've had a goal
one-sided.
disallowed as well, so both teams are goal disallowed. But just watching it there while we're talking to Si, obviously. Yeah, Liverpool again have been so wasteful, and particularly Szoboszlai a few times. Just wayward passes that are normally so simple, and that normally he's pinpoint accurate. There's something not quite right with the lad at the minute.
Yeah.
He had a very poor game, and I don't know which one it was. I missed it, but I remember seeing the ratings. I think he got pulled off at halftime. Probably not the greatest choice of phrase, but he
It
had
was a lot calmer second half.
4 out of 10. Like that's not the Dominic that I know.
I'd like
when
to
I've
point
seen him,
out,
he's always
I
been one of the
think we
highest rated players.
I
So
think we
he
covered
has
that game.
players
Yeah.
do have bad games, of course, but I think he's missing having McAllister next to him. I genuinely think that's a big part of it. Like he plays really well when he has McAllister next to him.
Well, I remember when he had a really bad game recently, and we were covering that game, and Papa Griff came through and said Dominic's having a shocker. And
Yeah.
we did say, to be fair, he had so many good ones. He had a bad one every now and again.
Oh.
So I don't want to dip into a chat. We obviously had some comments. I don't think Si noticed that I changed his thing underneath. We've got all our Twitter handles.
To Warnock in.
To Warnock in, yeah, because KPB says United need Neil Warnock. Connor was asking, is Tuchel still available? Is he in Germany? He is still in Germany. Graham Purples. Apparently, they're saying making football that wide receivers are divas because they always want the ball because how they get their numbers. Same for strikers; they can be divas. Absolutely, we've seen that with players like Ronaldo, etc.
Martial.
Successful for
There's
3
no
years,
divas
40
in the
leagues.
Manchester United team for sure.
But Bruno Fernandes, that fucking hop, step and jump he does beforehand.
Yes,
Connor also saying, big example of Kai Havertz. He had one good year in 2021 for Chelsea when they won the Champions League. We covered that game back in the old Tekkers days. They won the Champions League and Arsenal paid 60 million for him. He scored 3 goals this season. He scored 5 goals this season, actually, Connor, and every time it's been the winner. Just saying, when he scores, he scores the winner for Arsenal.
Yeah, and I'm glad with that. Kai Havertz coming good for Arsenal is something that I actually called, and not many people agreed with me. But it's starting to come through, and
I'm very
Like
pleased
the
about that,
Night.
Dan, as well, because prophetically, I said the same thing about Aston Villa, and somebody who remain nameless and it's in this call right now was quite surprised about that, and is very pleased that for once I got a prediction right. I'm not. Apparently, KP is insisting on dad cam. I'm guessing this is about that dad cam. It gives him immense pleasure. Maybe later, sir. Glenn Abbott. Good evening to you, Glenn Abbott. Commenter on GCPC in the fan cops and also here. And you're all over the place, Glenn. We love you dearly. KPB also says...
Yeah, and on that, while Glenn's there, go listen to Work in Progress.
Yes, absolutely
fantastic.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant what they do. KPB says that it should have got Kane. It's gotta be Kane! It should have been.
Knowing their recruiting process, that probably would have been what would have happened as well.
They'd have gone for that and got Blue Kane instead, who debuted at CXW in a casket match against Damien at Easter as
It's
well.
like in Mike Bassett, England manager, when he writes the team selection on a packet of cigarettes and ends up with 2 non-league players, one called Benson and one called Hedges.
Ironically about Kane is that he's playing for Bayern Munich, scoring all of his goals, setting all his records, and out the cups, and
Second in the league.
and not even second in the league. Yeah, amazing. Pat kind of rising side here. Try to let Maguire go, but no one wants him. McCabe
West Ham did want him.
Newcastle. Yeah, but not. Yeah, but you know, I'm going to give Conor a benefit of doubt here. KPB saying Newcastle got to be happy at half time, and KPB also saying he'll be in the CW chat tomorrow to observe. I'll be watching.
I'm going to mention the fact that although they might not be number 1 in the Bundesliga, that's mainly because of former Liverpool old boy Xabi Alonso, who's doing a great job out there right now.
Yeah,
and if I can go back about 45 minutes ago to something that Connor said about bowl games, the bowl games now are an absolute farce. At the end of the season, if you win a certain number of games, you get to play in a bowl game. And it's supposed to be a big financial thing for the teams, blah, 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 blah. The game yesterday, which was supposed to be the 3rd biggest game of the whole year, one team pulled 20 players. One of them because they're looking to move on to the NFL, so they don't want to get injured before they do that. Some people who are looking to move to another team and don't want to pick up the whole bowl game situation right now is an absolute farce in the US, and something needs to be fixed. But to have 20 players missing from a team, you talk about Manchester United having injuries. That's not even. Can you imagine 20 players missing from a team? It's absolutely ridiculous.
But American football teams have a squad of like
to those games now either.
Yeah, Grant got a great point there. And so Dan, the teams are so big now. The rain, by the way, at Anfield is absolutely biblical. I'm half betting a boat to go on at half time. It's so wet out there.
Please tell me you guys saw. Being sports fans, please tell me you guys saw the Pop-Tarts Bowl mascot or anything to do with that.
I did because you shared it.
Oh, okay.
It was brilliant.
Physically loaded a mascot into a toaster. Wow.
Michael Van Gerwen has just been knocked out of the World Championship.
No way.
Yeah, by Scott Williams.
Wow.
So
Michael Smith was appalling this year. He was lucky to even make the previous round when he finally got knocked out. He was not good this year.
No, so we're going to, I think Rob Cross is through Liverpool. So
I think
Scott Williams.
The other quarterfinal that I was watching before the Littler one, he was 4 down and won 5-4. They're saying it's one of the greatest comebacks ever.
Yeah, Chris Derby. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's it. I can't remember the name. Yep. I haven't watched darts like this in 25 years. It just happens to be on YouTube. It came up as a recommendation. So I watched it, loved it, and then the next day it kept coming up. So, yeah, I've been invested in this for like the last couple of weeks or so.
The standard of play is so high now. Like you had James Wade, who was a former world finalist and UK Open champion and Premier League champion and all sorts. He got dumped out in the first round. Reigning world champion Michael Smith got dumped out early. Van Barneveld went on a little resurgence, then lost to Luke Littler, and it's been absolutely brilliant tournament.
Brilliant.
We might need to reset the clocks on this because I got totally messed up at one point. And thankfully, Sai came in, so it didn't really matter. Looks like my guys, are they getting ready to kick off where I am?
Yeah, they are mine as well.
Kicked off now.
Bruno's just kicked off. We're on the same page, Graham.
We're good? Okay, I just actually, rather than trying to pause it, I just went back and then logged back in again. So I think we're good.
And for those people who are watching at home, time check down is
45, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, Liverpool kicking from right to left, second half. As we're looking at it, so we're attacking the newly refurbished main stand.
Also, Graham, I sent you a Twitter DM that I think you'll find highly amusing about Anthony. It's the same one I sent to the Volley group chat now.
Oh, cool. I think also
the guy spinning in a circle.
I forgot to do this at the start of the show, so I think 2024 fresh start. I should probably do this now. UTT Rob's already messaged me, and I already gave one apology, but I think I should do it on a much bigger stage. I apologize for trying to do a Yorkshire accent on the Good Cop Bad Cop episode that came out yesterday.
I'd like to point out,
I haven't heard that yet.
Graham said, "Oh, it's not our best work." Graham, every episode's a banger.
I don't know. To me, there were moments in it that were good, but overall, I don't know. I didn't think it was clicking. I didn't think it was as good as some of. It might have just been some of the other episodes recently.
Graham, it's also the first time I've ever pulled a JJ.
Excuse me.
Yeah, JJ is obviously Graham's son Jackson. I literally folded my arms at one point and said, like, no, I'm not going to talk. I genuinely did that at one point. I genuinely did that because Graham wouldn't let me talk. So I was like, fine, fuck you.
He was trying to say, and in the end, I was just like, I don't care. The Ring of Honor and AEW are different companies. And then after we went off air, this guy comments, he's like, bloody hell, like typical, like the Friday show main event is Ring of Honor, whatever it was, the pure division. Something.
Yeah.
I'm like, and Matt wants to tell me they're different divisions. I'm like, I get it. Neither of us.
No, we're saying they're meant to be different companies and they're not being treated that way. And the thing is that they're meant to be. We were told we're different companies by Tony Khan, but they're not being treated as different companies. That's the problem.
Tony Khan says a lot of things.
He's saying one thing and doing another. Well, we know this from a fucking press conference, which I've been reading a little bit sort of during half time.
Sporting presentation. No, there's going to be all these benefits for workers and unionisation, all that at the outset. Is there?
Yeah.
The reason for the
that's the point, KPB.
Was I was reading a quote and there was a phrasing in it that just sounded so Yorkshire. I don't know the person at all, but it definitely sounded Yorkshire to me, so I went with a Yorkshire accent.
Well, Dan Griffin will. I do believe that shout was either someone got a red card or something really good just happened at Liverpool.
We'll find out.
Looks like they're attacking Liverpool end, so that could be a worry.
Yeah, I just heard a shout from Papa Griff. And the ball is cleared
Now
out.
we're just waiting.
Oh,
We've just got
here we
10
go.
tucks.
Go. Oh, we
Ooh,
might be further behind than we realise then. Diaz on the left.
Yep, Diaz on the ball here, taking on the right back.
Szoboszlai going like an absolute trade.
Oh, here we go.
Diaz.
Oh,
yes!
Oh, to Nunes.
Darwin
to
Nunes,
Salah.
Mo Salah.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Tap in.
Man, your dad's way ahead of us. Is he using the good internet at your house or something?
Well, no, because I've paused.
Oh, of course you
keep
did.
up with you fucker.
We will.
I was like,
Unfortunately-
wow. Antonio
We will
Maureen is not very good at processing things today.
We will need to check it with VAR, obviously, but it looks good.
That's good. If it wasn't, would have
Why are
heard
you so,
Dan's
why are you
dad
so
point
far
out.
behind the other room? Why
Yeah,
are you
we
so
would
far
have,
behind the other room? I paused it for you.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's all.
So yeah, Liverpool 1, Newcastle 0. Mo
And
Salah
that's the
finally
start Liverpool
scores.
needed.
Yeah, it's a very unselfish ball by Nunes.
Yeah, but
And
this is one
Salah
of the good
can't
things
miss.
about this season is the understanding and the rapport that Salah and Nunes have built. I think it's a really good partnership.
I was just about to say, I don't think he's that concerned
Oh, with
about
Firmino.
scoring goals.
And
He is
Firmino,
good at doing the assist.
Yeah, Bobby F is there. Bobby F is there. It'll be
Fabinho
a break
was in the background as well.
Salah on a summer
There
break.
is, he is leaving his club. It's talked about, and it's mentioned the fact that Liverpool might be interested. And
Well, do you know
it was
what?
Bobby who wanted to leave, I think, rather than
All around.
Liverpool wanted him to go. So he wouldn't be a bad little backup.
Yeah, if he's leaving his Saudi club and coming back to Liverpool, I'd have him back in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
You know, he'd be on a freebie. Absolutely, why not?
He understands that he wouldn't get the same number of much playing time as he used to, but if he's prepared to play in the role, he'd be a valuable addition.
He's adored at Liverpool, absolutely adored. Especially with Salah going off to the AFCON, could be a better time, being something you can count on.
Liverpool breaking down the left again with Diaz.
Diaz, that right back, that's going to hate the sight of him. The ball goes back now to Szoboszlai.
KPB saying Liverpool need to keep Salah fit.
Lot more.
I can't hear what your dad's saying. I heard something though.
More
just the
Snoopy
generals.
Going towards the Newcastle goal.
Papa Snoopy Griffin.
Yeah, they're saying really do need to keep Salah fit. Yeah, I mean,
Salah,
that's one of the great things
Jinx inside.
about Salah is
and Nunes needed just one bit more touch more. End on the ball.
I think Nunes was trying to dummy it.
Back out to
I think
Salah.
he was.
And
Win by
on
Endo,
booking.
keep it alive.
Chipped over
Back
to
out to
Salah.
Salah.
Oh!
Nunes, great save by Dubravka.
Oh.
Dubravka's having the best game of his career today, and they're losing.
Salah's availability is one of his great strengths. He's never really been injured for Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
So, Connor's saying we talk about Henderson or someone. For me, we talk about Firmino.
Yeah, Roberto Firmino. Yeah. Let's not forget, of course, that back at the summer transfer window, people were complaining about the Saudi window closing. As Nunes comes in here,
Oh, Nunes.
Another good save.
great save again by Dubravka. The transfer window, obviously in Saudi, closed 2 weeks after it closed here in Europe. It doesn't for the winter window, as it were. It closes the 30th of January for Saudi Arabia.
Day before.
Which is, fine. It's fine. But, it's about right.
So you talked about Salah leaving. What's Liverpool going to do with Endo leaving? Like, that's always been a tough role for us to fill, that number 6 role. Like, McAllister was trying to play there, but he was injured. And
McAllister's on the way. I don't know when Bakitic is going to come back either. Because he was phenomenal as a 6.
Yeah, he was last season, yeah.
But obviously, he's been out for a long time as a young guy. How quickly is he going to hit the ground running? How quickly is he going to get back up to form and match fitness?
Is he back at the club or is he out on loan again?
Bakitic is not ready to play yet. He's definitely not been loaned out.
no.
Because I know he got injured last season, but he was playing pre-season for us.
He's been out since he picked up another. Yeah, he's still on our injury list.
Yeah.
Connor in the chat. I've watched a few Saturday games. It looks like the games outside the PIF owned Big Four. The club average attendance is anywhere from 800 to 1,000 people. And these stadiums are massive stadiums.
Oh!
Shit.
Alexander Isaac who equalised.
I was not watching anything. I just saw the ball hit the back of the goal. From his reaction, I'm assuming it's a good goal.
Let's see.
Salah's not happy. Dan Griffin, talk us through it.
Well, I will when we get the replay, because I did not see that at all. I was looking up Baketic's injury. So we're getting the replay now. It's played out to the left-hand side, which is, I'm assuming, Dan Burn. I think that's either Longstaff or Lewis Mile on the outside.
He's on.
He's on. It's a wonderful run from Isaac, splitting the two centre-backs.
It was a good ball.
It was Anthony Gordon. It's a wonderful finish from Isaac.
Yeah, for one guy, yeah.
He's a player who can sort of kick on and go for years, I think. The typical jogging with his shirt off in the crowd.
Newcastle one. Yep. Yep.
Glenn Abbott, Arsenal fan, terrible defending, and believe me, I've seen some lately. Connor confirming that it was Gordon with the assist as well. Yes,
KTB winding us up as well.
Oh yeah, saying come on you Geordies, and agreeing that it was really well taken.
Yeah,
he's a quality forward.
Yeah,
very good. If he gets service like that, then he's absolutely fine. Liverpool free kick in the defensive position. 55 minutes played at Anfield.
Yeah, lead lasted less than 10 minutes.
Well, we're not short of goals here on the volley normally. In fact, we've only ever covered 1-0. Now it's Liverpool Man United.
Oh, that was frustrating.
Not a game, but it's famous for 0-0s.
That was worse than when Chelsea used to park the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't find any update on when Bakitic is due back.
I haven't seen any chat on that at all. Like, it's mentioned that he'll be back, but it's not mentioned when. It seems very vague right now.
Well, obviously, we
just found an injury update from 3 days ago. Let's see here. Okay, so with Bakitic, it's part of the problem is it's because he is so young and he's effectively still growing. So they're managing him back very carefully because they don't want to give him problems in later life. So they're just taking it day by day.
I'm translating the autocorrect here for Connor. Matt, the play-by-play, and an operator. Dan's the tactics expert. Graham's the semi-co-host, and I'm just here to add youth to the show.
Newcastle actually have a free kick in a dangerous position here.
I'm here for the reverse reason of Connor. I'm here to give the older generation's opinion.
That was the whole purpose of MGB back in the day. Newcastle free kick comes in, and it's claimed by Addison Ferguson, who bowls it out. And off goes Diaz down the right.
Newcastle got back incredibly well.
They have done, but Liverpool threw in forward.
Yeah.
Headed from Nunes.
Headed it straight to the defender. Shoot, Gomez.
Gomez has never scored for Liverpool.
I want to see a Gomez goal.
Gomez has never scored in his professional career.
He's been getting close.
Then we'll call him Joe Gomez.
You so know they will.
Free kick.
Free kick was given against the player further back rather than one.
Do you think if Liverpool were ever up, say, I don't know, 3-0, second half, win a penalty, you like Gomez take one? Particularly if Salah's on international duty.
I would. And
the normal penalty kick is gone. The game's already wrapped up. Or would that devalue the goal anyway? Because it's not really a proper goal.
I remember many years ago when Chelsea beat Aston Villa 8-0. They were 8-0 up, and they had a kid come on before 7-0, and they were when they went to 8-0. They got a penalty, and they gave the ball to the kid, and he missed. He never played again.
Huh.
I don't believe. If I'm wrong on that one, I apologise, but I don't think
Actually, it would probably be a kind of a bad thing to do, because if they did let him take a penalty and then suddenly there was an announcement that there was a lot of bets on Gomez scoring a goal, that could really backfire quickly.
Oh, what a great bit of defending! Trent just swept it into the box and Diaz just pounced. And it was brilliant defending. Salah goes down, being waved to his feet. He's not happy. As it's Konate against Isaac, and Van Dijk back there to help out his defensive centre-half teammate.
He just cruises Van Dijk, doesn't he?
He really does.
It looks so effortless.
KPB in the chat is saying how it is. Newcastle are ready to break at every opportunity. They definitely had their haul at the half time for sure. That right back would be sick of sight of him.
Oh, Turner.
Oh, nobody there.
And Liverpool camping in the Newcastle box right now. Trent Alexander-Arnold trying to play it back, trying to back here to Salah. He wasn't there yet.
Keep playing the whistle.
Play the whistle.
They did. I did.
He paused like he did the other week when he could have just scored. He was looking for a penalty.
Well, actually, I think, given the referee's arm, I think he did play a whistle.
Okay.
What a great turn like we're seeing on the replay there.
Yeah. Keeper was nowhere near it at all.
I've seen Liverpool fans on Twitter. Actually, one Liverpool fan, I can't remember who it was, saying that he thinks Diaz is the worst winger in the league. Without a hint of irony.
Worst winger, perhaps.
Considering all he's been through with injuries and family situations this year, he's put in some really good performances under those circumstances.
Yeah.
Let's
not forget, of course, that a month ago, his father was kidnapped and could have been killed.
That was the family situation I was talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm emphasising it, Graham. So, give him a break. If he takes a bit of time to resettle, let him have a chance. He needs game time for that.
Didn't his dad appear at some of the games over the winter holidays?
Liverpool flew the family over.
Because some people said, don't you think the man suffered enough already without bringing him to Liverpool for Christmas? It's a little bit.
That's a lie. Trent.
That was probably a Manchester United fan, I'm guessing.
They really can't comment then, can they? Diaz in the middle now.
Oh, parried.
Great save.
Nunes just taking off Nunes' foot again as well.
Gomez thinking about following up and then thinking better of it.
As you just mentioned that people were knocking on Diaz, I want to talk back to the comment I mentioned to Sai earlier. Jamie Carragher slammed Cody Gakpo, which really surprised me. That was not the player I was expecting. Which player has been massively underperforming? And when I clicked on the link, I was not expecting that name. Thoughts?
Gakpo's had...
It's a frustrating one, Gakpo.
He frustrates at times, but he does deliver more times than not. Because he does so much more than just score goals. He works so hard. He reminds me of Bobby Firmino.
They've been playing him a lot as a centre forward when he's really not. That's not his natural position either. So, that didn't sound positive. That didn't sound.
But Gakpo. I think you do have to start thinking of Gakpo more in terms of Firmino, because nobody ever expected massive numbers from Bobby, because he was there to effectively be a false nine, drop back, keep the play, link up the play, bring in the wingers, bring in Salah, bring in Mane, and Gakpo does exactly the same thing. He's not a striker.
No,
he often looks better on the left wing.
Ball in the box, header. Just
Nunes! Oh my God!
Nunes.
Great header. Just narrowly wide of a far post. It's a great
He really
setup
needs to
for
rethink
him.
that mustache.
He got up really well, actually,
Really
between those
well.
two defenders. He did well to get his head on that.
King KPB with the joke of the day. Graham, you can bowl this one for future. Newcastle doesn't out there. Child Liverpool red for the time count in the goal map. Bob Light is holding his...
Start
coming
putting him
on.
away.
It's
Looks
holding
like
his hamstring.
Gravenberg.
Gakpo is coming up. Whoa, Gakpo's got a beard? He didn't have a beard last time I saw him.
That's
did he?
Gravenberg, Graham.
That's Gravenberg.
Oh, okay. I just...
Nunes,
like,
Diaz,
what?
and Szoboszlai for Gakpo,
Szoboszlai-
Jota, and
I'd
Gravenberg.
like-
In the rain, I couldn't see easily. Jota's coming up with Diaz.
I'd like to point out, by the way, that I keep seeing...
Oh, there we go. There's Cody.
I've just seen, by the way, Dominic Szoboszlai grab his hamstring 2 or 3 times.
Yep. He's walking around the outside of the field.
Well, yeah,
But
but
he
you meant to
wasn't
go
on
off...
the
As he's supposed to.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was.
You meant-
He was the sub for Gravenberg.
You meant to go off the nearest touchline.
Okay.
That's so when players walk across the pitch, they add the time on.
Yes.
Connor saying he brought Gakpo back in his Ajax FIFA save, changed his position to striker, and he bagged 45 league goals and 15 Europa League goals. Were you playing on easy?
Ooh, another save.
Save again. Kurt, blocked again.
Yeah.
Dubravka's having the game of his career tonight.
Add him to Gordon dives. Getting booked.
Is it going to be one of
the ref's
these
given
games?
Ref's actually given that. Or is he
Yellow card.
booking Gordon?
Endo's
He's
Endo.
booking Endo for nothing.
I'm gonna need to drink strong coffee right now.
So, how does this work, gentlemen? Let's suppose Endo gets a second... let's suppose he makes another challenge and gets a straight red. So, you're supposed to miss 3 games. But if he was off serving international duty for 3, would they serve it after he comes back from that? Or would it just be like, ha ha,
I think so, yeah.
I wasn't going to be available anyway?
Well,
No, I think it's next 3 games you're available for.
Okay,
Yeah,
so they do
because
factor that in then? Okay.
I believe, and I could, and if I'm wrong, but do correct me. Lee Bowyer got a red card many years ago. I think it may have been for Leeds,
That makes sense.
and he after the game had expired, sort of thing.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh my
Joe
goodness!
Linton. Joe Linton with the Brexit tackle.
Oof.
Look at the stakes
Man,
of
look
Joe
how-
Linton.
He looks like he's been through the battles right there.
To be
He's been
fair, it's
doing-
it's
he's been doing
muddy as
tough
hell.
mudder.
It's so
It might have
muddy
something to do
right
with
now.
this slide.
That was a good win by Canate to begin with.
Kanate is still travelling. Kanate is a unit.
That was
And
an
he-
out of control tackle.
Yeah, but
That
they're
was
letting,
Linton's always good for one of them.
they're letting a bit go due to the weather conditions.
That had nothing to do with the rain. That was a poor decision to try and make that challenge.
It was a
Yes,
blood
I
and
agree
thunder
with
tackle.
Absolutely, blood and thunder tackle. Shirts available right now in the SJP Media World Store. I had a point of I completely forgot what it was. Never mind, it's all good.
I forgot to mention it earlier as well. Liverpool, the goal, I do believe the goal that Newcastle have disallowed came from a pervert corner.
Yeah,
Oh,
Serves
terrible
them
goal by
right.
Gravenberg.
Serves them right.
Is that Almiron who's come on, number 24, or is that
I've got to
Liverpool?
admit, I didn't see. Amon is number 24, but I didn't see if he came on or not. So
Newcastle
Let's
breaking
see.
down the left.
No, it's 21, it's Tino Livramento.
headed away by
Oh, nice one. Is that Gakpo or
Jones.
Jones?
That's Van Dijk headed away, and Jones is and little touch away, and referee saying get up, no foul
Yeah,
given.
there was a foul on the Liverpool player. It wasn't more than anything, I thought, on that.
Yeah, no foul given.
Good.
Joe Linton can't complain about people.
Ran down the
fouling.
right.
Oh yeah. To finish my point,
Salah.
Liverpool got Salah into
Go
the
on,
box
Mo.
he comes.
Oh,
Corner.
corner.
Surely.
Corner given by the assistant referee. So Lee Bowyer was sent off all those years ago. He wasn't listed. He came back. He wanted to come on, and he was not allowed to play after the time had expired. And they why that? Like, because you didn't actually list him as a player. for those games that he was suspended for.
Yeah.
Due to admin, they hadn't actually listed him as a player who was suspended, so he had to serve another 2-game ban because they didn't do their admin. So if they list him as a player that's available, Graham, they may be able to get around it that way. It's the point.
Yeah.
It's all about paperwork, obviously.
Go on,
Gakpo, great save! Gravenberg pushed it into a new tier. Hang on. We have a button for this.
Good save.
Dubravka's is having a great game. Last time we were on, by the way, this goes how long ago it was since we were last on, by the way, is this button still here as well? Obviously, Tom Lockyer, obviously, from Luton Town. Obviously, who had the cardiac arrest. He's seeing doctors this week to see if he can continue playing or not. And Alisson takes it nice and easy down. Is it a good old-fashioned game of attack with defence? Yes, it is, Glenn. Absolutely. And KPB said
28 shots Liverpool have had.
Yeah, and substantial amount on target as well.
Cannot hit a cow's ass with a banjo.
They've been hitting the target. The keeper's been playing well.
Keeper's making saves.
It's not one of those games where we look back later and go, I'm hoping they're going to take one of these chances.
20 minutes to go.
That was a terrible pass.
The expected goals right now, by the way, which I hate, is 4.25. 4.25 goals expected.
Yeah.
It's another in a long list of keepers who transform into prime Buffon at Anfield.
Yeah, Fabianski comes to mind. De Gea.
I did want to ask you guys, in terms of guests for the show, have you ever thought about asking Wayne Shaw to be one of your guests?
Wayne Shaw?
Do I need to give you a little
because I want to be the only fat pie eater on this show.
All right, Dan knows who it is then. Okay.
Yeah,
I think we're talking about the goalkeeper who ate a pie and got
twin bets. Yeah,
twin bets. Yeah,
he'd be brilliant to have on the show.
I
think you should at least. Matt, you've actually asked The Rock to if you'd do an interview for you, so I think you could at least reach out to Wayne Shaw. And
I invite him to my wedding.
No shame in asking big names way above. I think you should ask. You can only say no.
I invited Wayne to my wedding as well, Graham. So yeah,
you did.
I invited both people on this panel, but Dan turned up.
Well, unfortunately, I was going to be arriving in England about 8 weeks later, so fares are a little expensive. So those within an 8-week period would have been kind of tough.
You're all good. I don't hold a grudge at all. I'm just making a point.
If I'd got my travel fees reimbursed, I would have been there in a flash.
If I could have done that, Graham, I would have absolutely flown you and the entire family out.
The lottery right now in America is crazy. It's like 810 million. So I actually bought a ticket at the weekend. I had 2 out of the 5 numbers, which unfortunately isn't even a tenner.
Well, in Spain, Graham, week before Christmas, in Spain they had a lottery going there. Not the Euro Million, just their national lottery, like a better term. 2.5 billion euros.
Oh my God! Is that the record? Jesus. That's really. I don't think they've even reached $2 billion
euros. And for context,
how many rollovers is that?
A euro is about £1 now as well.
Yeah,
roughly. So basically £2.5 million.
Biggest.
Yeah.
Please tell me it wasn't a single winner.
I don't know. I just saw the draw being done on BBC while I was at work. We had BBC News up on our big TV. Well,
that sounds like a near miss.
Something good's happened.
Oh, Newcastle's on the attack.
Newcastle are breaking here. Is it a sarcastic shout from Papa Griffin? We'll find out momentarily.
No, he went, no, that's nothing.
That was great defending from Endo there.
Yeah, referee says get up.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Great defending.
We'll get there eventually.
watching.
So Alisson's
Andy
going to
Gordon.
clear it upfield, and Liverpool's going to get a shot, right? Is that what's coming up then? Yeah, here we go. Liverpool's on the attack.
No,
Salah.
we'll cut it in from the left as he
Jota.
goes.
Oh,
It's
Jota and
Curtis
Jones.
Oh, that's filthy.
They walked it in.
Get in.
I'm being
We
a
need to-
little
I need to
tempted
do the
with
full
my
build-up.
celebrations this time.
KPB is same penalty.
Yeah,
Ah.
the dreams, mate.
He's cried wolf too many times already.
He's behind us anyway. I want to
So,
see what
yeah,
happened in
that
the build-up
looked good
the
to
goal.
me.
Obviously, we didn't see the
It
ball
looks
get out
good.
to
I'm
Salah.
waiting for him to
but
kick the
he,
ball off so I can finally celebrate.
So does it come? Oh, because Alisson rolls it out to Kanate.
There's
Kanate
no
to
offside
Trent.
yet.
Trent driving forward. Just
That's onside, that first pass.
That's onside.
it's great work from
Second
Salah.
one's definitely onside.
Coming in.
Gakpo's
Jota.
on, and he played
Yeah,
behind the
that's fine.
ball.
He plays it backwards.
Jota's the key player again there in the middle.
That was Jota. Yeah, setting it up and
Things happen with
starting to move
Jota.
off then assisting.
Jota's changed the game. Yeah.
He just manages to get assists and goals. He's massively underrated.
And we love seeing a Scouser score as well. KPB,
And KPB in the
Arsenal
chat
fan knows
is
these.
he said like quality work goal. In the words of Moss from the IT crowd, thing about Arsenal, they always want to walk it in.
McAllister's on.
McAllister is on.
Endo.
That's maybe
Endo's
a bad
played his
thing.
part again.
He's about to get sent off otherwise. The boss is back in the
Ooh.
chat. Hey boss.
that
Jota
Jota
is
is
class. Almiron at
Livramento.
the end.
That's Liverpool.
Puts it into the cup.
Oh,
The largest
Oh, no, I was
cheer
on
of the
that.
night.
When the fuck did he come on?
The largest cheer of the night from the cop
Oh,
for
he was
Almiron
way
putting it
onside.
into the cop.
That wasn't even
No,
close.
Almiron came on 54 minutes.
You did say he
He's had a
came
big
on, buddy.
influence so far.
Yeah, well, I thought I was getting confused with Livramento because you've got 21 and 24 on that right-hand side.
I don't think that was good, Matt. I think he missed the left post. I don't think he converted that.
I haven't got a no good. Unfortunately, to hand. Liverpool did again
Yeah,
at Anfield.
I do very much like Jota. He's a quality player.
Yeah,
And an
his
absolute-
his
we're going for
transfer
a
fee
steal
looks
as well,
better years
comparatively.
like his transfer fee looks better and better as the years go on as well, doesn't it? As here comes Gavin Burke, Gakpo back to Jones.
Shoot Gomez.
Joe Gomez.
Jones is on the ball now.
I need more alcohol.
Jones has got it again.
Every time I
Curtis
say
Jones.
Joe Gomez's name, I want to call him Go Gomez. I don't know why.
And
Oh,
a little
Gravenberch
bit,
just didn't read that.
little bit in front of Gavin Burke. McAllister getting stuck in already.
Newcastle break-in, but an important
Oh, what a tackle by
from-
Trent Alexander-Arnold!
Very nice interception.
Can I have that sound clip just taken out there because that's a rare thing to say out loud on any broadcast.
Thing is, the mad thing is, when Trent was going through a sort of barren spell in his attacking output last season, he actually upped his defensive game. He's not a bad defender.
He had up
Isn't
his
Trent.
defensive. It worked his defensive game hard. Clearly, one thing I've loved about since he's had the vice captaincy is how much he does lead by example. Although I did watch earlier Konate dragging him away before he screamed in the referee's face. So
Yeah.
Salah keeping it on the far side.
very nicely. What do you know? The goal
Oh,
for
what's it?
Gakpo.
Oh, get it.
Is
That's
he
got to
on?
be offside.
He's celebrating. He's not even looking to the side. That's got to be a goal then.
No. Is
That
it?
He's
means
not
nothing,
even
Graham.
he didn't even look at the linesman at all. He immediately started celebrating.
I think that even caught the caught the crowd off guard. And I've not heard anything from the other room.
Did you see the celebration there with Trent? Just a polite handshake.
Let's see here. So pinged out to Salah. And Salah, I
Looks
think,
fine.
gets this with the outside of his left boot.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he's
That's
on.
close. That's close.
That is such a bad finish. It completely fooled the brack.
But sometimes
It's
you need that,
absolutely-
don't you?
Yeah,
He just got
Doesn't
something
matter
on
how
it
they're
and
going.
redirected it. I think that's okay.
Did he
Yeah.
shin it? Oh no,
No, he didn't shin it. It was the bottom of
to
his
the
foot.
ground.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hit a ball too well. Sometimes you
Yeah.
need a hitter. They say, "Thank God for that." He's saying. So yeah,
Oh.
VR will check.
Oh,
it,
no,
of
no,
course.
no. That Newcastle defender on playing right back is playing him on, I think, now. I didn't see that before.
Right back, but also the other side, Graham.
I think he's good.
I think he's good.
It might be one of those where he's off by Connor says a hair on his nutsack.
That needs to be a t-shirt.
If I say t-shirt, next t-shirt, offside by the hair on his nutsack, Conor McCabe. First
That's the title for the podcast's figured out, anyway.
It stands.
Goal!
Oh,
Newcastle
well
now
done, Cody.
3-1 behind at Anfield.
I can breathe a little easier now. 2-goal lead feels much better.
That means nothing right now, Graham, against Newcastle. We know full well.
Liverpool's going on the attack.
Well in,
Here we
Jota.
go.
Here comes Jota.
Oh, Jota's hacked down. Referee.
Advantage being
let him play
played.
on. Never mind. Yeah, let him play on. There's like a ton of red shirts. here.
Gakpo!
Oh,
Salah!
Oh, that was
come on. That was terrible.
Oh, well.
If he was trying to shoot, then that was awful. I'm hoping it was just a misplaced cross.
Seems he was caught a bit in two minds. He was just trying to divert it towards goal, but never really committed one way or the other.
Man, Klopp's pretty fired up on the coverage I can see here.
Yeah, if we get the replay here, he loved that one. But Newcastle still coming. 10 to play at Anfield.
Nutmeg Joe Gomez, there's that long staff, and it's a corner.
Van Dijk covering his left back very well. It was a shot McLaren to say, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And then someone stands right in front of a camera. What we need now is to keep our defence in good order here. We don't want to let someone like Botman score. That'd be embarrassing.
Like that, you mean?
But fucking Botman!
Did I just miss it? Oh, I missed it. I was looking on Twitter just to see if there was any information about the game. Oh, God.
Oh, God, Matt, you youngsters, you bastard.
Yeah, it was Botman. I'm seeing it.
Oh,
again.
God, we can't
it's a
let
very-
someone like...
That's a good header.
It's a
Oh,
good
it's a header.
header. Can't
Yeah, who's
argue
supposed to be
about
picking him
that
up?
one. Well, Jota was underneath him.
Man, he got up so well for that.
I just can't see from the setup and from the replay who was supposed to be picking him up.
And then Newcastle making a triple change here.
That's
That would have
Jamal
been
Lascelles
tough to
coming
pick
on.
him up. He got up so high on that.
Joe Linton gone off. That's
yeah,
Dan,
it
is that
is-
Dan Burn coming off?
It's Liverpool 3, Newcastle 2. We have another
Oh,
cracker at
dude.
Anfield.
Do not let
Graham,
them
you were saying about
equalise.
having a 2-goal lead. You
That missed
jinxed it as
penalty
well.
from Salah. Can you imagine if they did come back and tie? That would be so bad now.
They've taken
KPB
Burn
limit.
off and they've put on Lascelles. Lascelles is centre half by trade. They're going 3 at the back here, Dan.
Quite possibly. It looks fine at the back from that setup.
You get 0 points whether you lose by 1 or more. So
Yeah, but by doing that, they can push their fullbacks forward more, can't they? Of course. So
Yeah, but it was a flat
And
back
Burns-
five there. That's going to come
Attack.
to nothing, surely.
sometimes attack is the best forward defence. It's amazing. Dubravka
oh,
has
they've got to go for it. They got to go. They've already shown they can
man of
score.
match.
Jones nips in.
Jones.
Across
Ooh, he's got nowhere to go though. Oh,
Yeah, Newcastle have packed that penalty box. Sorry, I just started listening to what was going on in the other room there. I'm not sure if I heard
Yeah.
the word penalty.
Not sure.
Gravenberch
want
going
that
in
one.
with the shoulder.
Seeing as how Liverpool one's now.
oh no! It's heading
Defending.
towards Liverpool's end as well.
Let's see what happens here.
Clear. Oh, there we go. Go,
There we go.
McAllister. Oh, yeah. Let's
And that's
go.
it. Because
Go, Jota.
He puts Jota in. Diogo Jota.
Wow, you got to stay up. That's
Ooh,
got to
that looked like a dive.
It's either a penalty or
Penalty has been given.
It's one or the other.
Referee has given the penalty.
Oh no, it's a yellow card for the keeper.
The referee has given the penalty.
Jota wouldn't have gone down for no reason. In that position, there'd be no reason.
I'm along. Let's see the replay here.
There is Connor. It's
there was contact
marginal.
with the elbow, but
There's marginal. I'm not sure enough to make him fall quite like that.
Millwall Chris after his trip to Bristol. Now then, Chris, how are you doing? I don't know what the score was.
Now then.
But... Oh, Millwall won away from home at Bristol City. Who won the fight between you and Bang Bang Andy, Chris? Picked by the same minimal contact.
Yeah, yes, he was saying dive.
It doesn't matter. As long as there's contact, it's one of those.
I'm looking at replay again. I don't think there is any contact at all.
It's taken a while to. Thing is, will the yellow card then be rescinded?
It would be. Because if they get it wrong, they do the no, and then they'll show them something.
For the yellow and then for the red. To answer the question, Dan, on my way home still, Andy got the pints in, which is nice of him.
Yeah.
No matter how many times I hear the question, I never remember the answer. So, as Morty and Fitch listeners as well, you can help me out. What's Millwall Chris's dog called?
Roman.
The big dog.
Because I know they're having a new They're having a new pub quiz in this month now. So I know that's always.
Will I get an invite this time?
I always forget. It's already been recorded.
Oh, I think the penalty's been given. Mo's stepping up.
Penalty
He's got to redeem himself.
Has been. Do you remember the old rules that the old rules given by back in the day by the late Bill Shankly? Score or miss, you don't take two.
Oh, come on, Mo. Clock can't look.
That clock can't watch.
You're not letting Salah take another one, really?
He can't miss twice.
He's going bottom left.
Mo Salah doesn't miss.
Get in. Beautiful.
Liverpool 4, Newcastle 2. 2-goal lead restored. But last time we said that, the 2-goal lead lasted 3 minutes.
Oh, boy. I think they're deserving of having scored 4 goals. They've created a lot of opportunities.
Gentlemen, it is time to start thinking about our man of the match, by the way. So start thinking about it. We've got time, obviously, for that to change multiple times. But to start thinking about it. And people in the chat, we also want to hear your opinions on who you think was the man of the match. And earlier, contender Happy Dubravka.
I was about to say, Dubravka's played so well, but can you really give it to somebody who's conceded 4 goals?
Without him, it would have been 9 or 10.
It might well have been, but I don't know.
The thing is, I know he missed a penalty earlier, but Salah's got a goal and an assist now.
And Jota's been great since he came on. Jones has been very good throughout the game.
Yeah, Jones might be a shout.
Endo as well, been solid.
Yeah, Gomez the operator.
Gomez has been a smooth operator all the way through the season, really.
Sorry,
nice little Sade reference there.
Just from the other room, I just heard my mum I don't know what happens, but my mum just made a weird squeak.
Uh-oh.
I'm hoping that was the football.
Look at Salah again.
All right, let's see if we can make it 5.
Go on, Mo.
Mo Salah! Head against Cody Gakpo there.
Oh, good win by Joe Gomez.
Joe Gomez with a tackle of the match.
Oh, referee. Get up. He was fouled.
That maybe what the squeak was, to be fair.
Maybe. I definitely just nearly called him Go Gomez again.
KVB saying, me and Dan on the pub quiz. Newcastle keeper. Can't spell his name. Yeah, well, Dubravka's certainly getting... Dubravka may be a universal pick for keeping the score down.
You can't give it to a keeper that's shipped 4 goals.
Jurgen Klopp is screaming.
That was such a good tackle by Gomez.
It was.
He fouled Gomez there.
It was a foul. It was a foul, but he didn't. Oh, Klopp was saying he lost his hat.
He took it off. It's in his hand.
I thought he lost
so
his
head.
Sorry.
Take my hat off.
Absolutely.
I remember
wound
was
up Klopp.
Ben Tekkers who celebrated a goal so much he knocked off Klopp's glasses and broke them.
It happened during the Norwich game.
Was it Ben Tekkers?
Lallana, I think. Guys, I'd like to just point this stat out quickly here at the bottom of our screen.
Ooh,
and that's
another taken out.
Terrible foul.
Yeah.
Yellow card's got Lorca out here.
Newcastle have that in them though. There's a lot of tough tackling stuff that goes on. But
look at that stat.
Oh yeah,
that stat.
Half time.
That's the stat at half time. Half time, and that's the score now. 45 minutes later, 6 goals shared.
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying about Newcastle. Sometimes in certain games they do become like a northeast Atletico Madrid.
Oh,
they've got a bit of bite about them and nastiness.
I just suddenly realised it'd be kind of cool if Newcastle did score one more, just to add to the collection of 4-3 games between Liverpool and Newcastle.
I don't think my heart could take that ground.
That was silly from Cher.
Yeah, he's on a booking as well. Oh dear! Van Dijk is a unit.
I bet he can handle himself.
Newcastle is saying that Newcastle KPB is saying Newcastle pushing the luck right now. And referee doing the right thing, just saying, "Come on, boy, come on, calm it down now, calm it down." And Van Dijk, as captain, is the only one who should be talking to the referee, and he's not talking to him; he's talking to Langstaff.
I think Liverpool don't want any injuries at a game when they're 2 up and they're now in injury time that could affect future games upcoming, and I think that's perfectly reasonable because there's been some really tackles flying in towards the players the last few minutes.
There are 7 minutes added on at Anfield.
Yeah, that's about right. Lengthy VAR checks, 6 goals. I think all the subs have been done. That's the one thing I do want other companies to bring over from Prime. I want the sub counter in the top above the score.
Yeah. They actually have on Prime Ground. They actually have above each team. They have 5 lines, and every time there's a sub, they just take one away, so you can keep a track of how many subs have been made.
Like they do with timeouts and football.
Yeah.
It should be. It should be. It's an important stat.
Yeah, it's an important thing to keep track of, sort of thing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And of course, the concussion sub starts from next season as well, which I'm massively in favour of.
That was really a very good ball to Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac was on that like a shot, but it was just a bit too far away. Connor is being a dick in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know how you make that up, Connor. Liverpool's man of the match, Anthony Taylor. I think Taylor's actually had a good game. He's refereed it quite consistently.
He gave 2 penalties, why? And I can see why on both times why they would not be given, but they were given.
It's one of those where it's by the letter of the law, it's a penalty. But in reality, as football fans, we have to acknowledge that it was minimal contact and it was made the most of.
McAllister retrieves it.
KPB been a bit more sensible. Full credit, Liverpool been great. Been better this half.
Second half been much better, yeah.
First half, they were
scored 4 goals, obviously. Only one moving penalty as well. Keeping it in there, Trent is back in now infield with Alexis McAllister, who chipped it forward with Salah. Reminds me of McAllister, of the other McAllister, Gary McAllister, number 21, back in the day, where he used to effortlessly put corners and free kicks in. He used to like almost chip it, and it's so effortless.
Despite signing for us when he was about 75.
Yeah, but he'd do that, do a great job for you. And then you go down to watch Sunday League, and they're literally putting hammer and tongs into everything just to get the ball into the penalty area from a corner. I'm thinking, how can you just put so little effort in and do it? That's how good he was at that stage of his life.
Yeah, he was a great player.
There's been another manager stat, by the way, today. This one in League 2. This one a bit more close to my heart. Matty Etherington was relieved of duty by Colchester United today after losing 1-0 at home.
I thought you were going to say after losing one game. I thought
He
that's a bit harsh.
he lasted 8 games.
That's
There was one manager who's been sacked twice this season. I saw over the weekend. I can't remember.
I believe in Italy. Yes.
No, it wasn't. It was over here.
I'm hearing screaming from Griff Cam. Whoa,
that would be my dad yelling, "Give him it, you greedy bastard!"
That's
So
Mo. Not
I'm assuming
it.
it's yeah, probably.
I heard useless. I heard useless that time.
Uh-oh.
No, he said, "Oh, you greedy little shit! You greedy little shit."
Gomez plays it to Gravenberch, who
That's
goes
a
long
great ball to
for Salah.
Wow.
About to see him be greedy, I guess. Salah
Just
goes for
square it.
goal. Just Jota wins the corner in the end.
The thing is,
KPB
you
is
don't
saying
become the 10th. Sorry, go on.
KPB says Newcastle keeping to Jude in the first half rather than Liverpool playing badly. I'd agree with that, to be fair. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, all
Grand
I'm going to
for the
say
chocolates.
about Salah, you don't get to be the Premier League's 10th highest goal scorer without being greedy. I mean, remember early days, he was taking pot shots from all over. He'd take
Trent
10,
trying to raise
20
the crowd.
shots
He
to
comes
score
across the corner. Trent comes through over to the corner. Literally, he's literally just trying to raise the atmosphere a bit more. 2 to play in stoppage time. And it goes way back to, I believe Joe Gomez is now playing centre holding midfielder now.
That was Curtis Jones took it on there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been played
Gomez back to centre back.
Yeah, centre half, which is where Addison plays centre half. Yeah, as Gomez puts it long.
To Salah.
He was never getting that one, Mo, on that occasion. Newcastle looked like they're
Well, throwing.
well, yeah, under no pressure really. Liverpool want more goals here. Goals could be crucial for the end of the season, of course. Newcastle can't afford a ship anymore either, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying about lower leagues, Matt, before as well. York City today, we've got a big 3-0 win at home against Gateshead, who are in the playoff positions at the minute. It was a 1-1 draw just before Christmas. And it's, just nice to see York getting away from the relegation zone. However, another team I follow, Grimsby, got absolutely spanked 6-1 at home.
Most shots in the Premier League. Wow, most shots in the Premier League game this season. Liverpool now occupy the top spot and the second place spot. 34 shots.
Anything that helps Chesterfield get promotion, I'm always happy with as well. So thank you, Dan, for that.
I do believe Chesterfield are top by 7 points with 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
It was always going to be them this season.
But being a Chesterfield supporter, I know not to get too confident yet.
In the last 30 seconds at Anfield, as a Colchester boy, I'm not keen seeing Colchester so close to the bottom of the table right now. To be fair, sacking him out.
And long ball to Salah down the right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sacking him after 8 games is a bit much.
Oh.
Well, no.
Salah accused of fouling.
I think they've blown up,
They're blown for offside.
Nearly the icing on the cake. Oh, that's it. Final whistle.
Lovely stuff. I think I'd still throw man of the match to Salah over, or possibly Joe Gomez over Dubravka, but
Full time at Anfield. Liverpool 4, Newcastle 2.
That didn't work out, KPB. And Connor with the hand egg update. Desmond Howard picked Michigan to beat Alabama. I don't know what that means.
Desmond
Howard
is. Remember, ran a kickoff back for a touchdown in one of the Super Bowls. I think he was a former Green Bay Packer. That name sounds really familiar.
All right. Yep, you're right, KPB. It was the right result.
And Alabama, Michigan about a kickoff here. Good game, fellas. Thank you, Connor. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you on. I've gone for the man of the match.
Yeah. We'll agree. with that.
Yeah, KPB, you were fantastic in the chat all evening long, keeping everyone entertained with your ribbings. And I would also like to say, I would like to give a shout out to the kit man who had to try and dry all these bloody shirts so they could be signed and auctioned off after the game for charity. I do not envy that man at all. Right, so Graham, thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure.
For the
Pleasure was all mine.
For an exciting second half. First half was so dull. We had to drop the boss in to let him have a whinge. But it was wonderful to have you along. Where can people get in touch with you? Where can they listen to your wonderful...
You can find me right here, but as I mentioned on Twitter, I know not everybody saw it, unfortunately your show was really spoiled my enjoyment of watching football. So when you guys are not on now, I genuinely don't look forward to watching football as much as when... It's totally changed how I watch football. Even if I'm just in chat or when I'm with you guys personally, it is not the same watching football by myself anymore, which is a real compliment to you guys, what you do on a weekly basis. So thank you for inviting me back onto your show again. You can find me at MGB Graham or at Good Bad Wrestle.
Oh dear.
Places. We're doing this again on Wednesday for the World Darts Final, right?
We're not. No, I'm a bit more worried because right now, you got Jurgen Klopp walking around the pitch. He's just done his fifth pumps, and he's lost his wedding ring. He just found it. He's just found it. He literally, he's been punched here so many times, and he must have it's come off his finger. I'm like, oh, you idiot. He never went to the other end of the pitch, and he's winding up his other hand to do the fifth pumping. and then returning back. He's got his other hand very firmly clenched. Guys, follow Graham at Good Bad Wrestle or at MGB Graham. Follow my partner Dan Griffin.
There. Look, Dan Griffin 21. And if you want to hear more of me talking about stuff, I'm on Unbooking the Territory with UTT Rob, where we talk about the first and last of wrestling and have a variety of side projects. And here on SJP World Media on the Doctor Who pod with the boss man and Chief Man United whinger, Cy Powell, who was on earlier.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, KPP, saying great coverage, guys, and thanking us. You're very, very welcome, buddy. Connor's saying here, actually, he's not active on Twitter at the moment because he's got like to have his football account. It's hard to get in because Elon's a prick. Yes, on both counts. On that side of things, we fully agree on that one. But you can follow me at the Matt Attack UK, and you can follow this show at the Volley Show. And don't forget to follow the network at SJP World Media. This has been the Volley. Come back tomorrow, same time, to watch that wonderful show called Chain Wrestling Live with Mags and Cy. I'm halfway through the Volley though. This is the Volley, and that was full time. We're out of here.